Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Hello, Pato Fanatico, Wisdom Forest, Stephen, Shockley. How's everybody doing? For the record, I'm not playing Sonic Generations right now. That's just background footage, already recorded of me time attacking the game. Hello, Super Guy, Joven Hernandez, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Uber Comrade, Ghosty. Oh yeah, Ghosty, what's up? I've seen you around in the comments plenty of times. Welcome to the stream. Just chilling, hanging out, talking with people. Hello, Missing Bits. QSTMRK, quest mark, whatever. However that's pronounced, sorry. Well, this is a stream for spamming questions. I'm just here to hang out and talk with y'all, so if you have questions, go ahead and ask them. Where are the physics? Well, the physics are in the game. Generations is a very fun game. It's been a long time since I played it, and coming back to it was very enjoyable. It is fantastic. How's my day? It's been alright. I haven't had too much going on today. I had some time available and nothing else to really do, so I figured how about I turn on the stream for a bit and just hang out with everyone. What do I think of Vector? He's fine. Don't really have much thoughts on him as a character. Would I play Sonic Boom? Fire and Ice for Sonic was always good. I don't know. I've never really played the Sonic Boom games very much. I'll probably try them, and if I have something to say, I'll say something. Do I like the action chain challenges in Frontiers? Those were added in one of the updates, right? I don't think I did them. I only checked out Final Horizon. I didn't check out the other updates yet. By the way, how's the audio? How am I? How's the game? Hope everything is balanced decently. What do I think about the Steam Deck? I mean, it's cool, but I'm not an on-the-go gamer, so I don't really have any need for it. But you know, great for people that want it. It's a way to access PC gaming in a more straightforward, console-like way, for people that don't like PC. Where's Sonic Colors? I've already played Sonic Colors, both of them. I have footage already ready to go for both those games, and Generations, as you can see. I plan on playing through Generations 3DS this weekend, so I have footage for all those games. And I can just start banging out reviews. Thoughts on the IDW Sonic series? I haven't read very much of it. I've only read the first story arc, which I thought was quite bad. I read the Anniversary Classic comic, which was okay. And I read Tangle and Whisper, which I thought was... okay, it was fine, I guess. And that's it. That's all I've read. So, based off of that, I would say it's not amazing. Then it's Lost World, I know. I'm not looking forward to that. Why isn't Sonic my favorite franchise, even though I do Sonic content on my channel? Because Sonic might not be my favorite, but Sonic is the thing I care the most about. I have a connection to Sonic that goes beyond just being a fan and liking the games. I care about the series doing well and being good. Like, from a creative standpoint, I want Sonic to be the best it can be. Which goes beyond just, I like it. And there are other series that I like more, like Zelda, But Zelda, I don't have to be like, no, it could be great if they just did it right, because they do it right, and it is great, so I can just enjoy it. Will I be reviewing Sonic Boom, the show or the games? I don't know. I'll probably do something talking about all the cartoons a bit here and there. But probably not a very in-depth thing because I haven't watched most of the cartoons too much. Classic Sonic Improvement mod where? I tried the Classic Sonic Improvement mod, and it's very cool, but I found a lot of bugs with it that were kind of messing with the game for me, so I turned it off. Oh, is there a new Sonic Dream Team trailer? No, I did not see it. Does it look cool? How to donate to you? Well, there should be Super Chats available. Also, I have my Patreon and Coffee. Those are both linked on my About page on the channel, so you can do that. So I need Zelda to be worse to make more content? Well, it's not just about video making. I've been weirdly obsessed with Sonic my entire life. A lot of the things that I talk about in my videos and all the complex thoughts I have, these did not happen to make these videos. These are thoughts that have been kicking around in my brain for literally years. What are my thoughts on Sonic Frontiers as a whole? How do you rate the game as a whole? Any issues or problems you have about the game? I would say overall, I like Sonic Frontiers. I don't think it's an amazing game, but I like it. I had a good amount of fun with it. It has problems for sure. The combat sucks. The puzzles suck. The bosses are not good. I don't like the story. But I do like moving around in the open zones, and I really enjoy the cyberspace levels. And, you know, that's most Sonic games, isn't it? There's really, really good parts and really, really bad parts. And you just try to ignore the bad parts and get the good parts. Thank you, Slashy. I really appreciate the donation. I'm glad you like my takes, because many people don't. I was surprised at how much backlash, kind of, I got from that Mario video that I put out. A lot of people being like, you played the games wrong. You played them like Sonic games. This is why you hate them. And I'm like, I just played the games in the way I found to be the most fun, and I still liked most of them. So what's the problem? Why is everyone mad at me? Sometimes I get a lot of backlash from videos, and it's like, I understand it, because I say something very, I don't know, goes against the grain in a very, I don't know, I don't want to say aggressive way, but I don't hold back when I have differing opinions from others. But that one, I was just like, yeah, I didn't like these parts of the games, but I like these parts, and everyone got mad at me, and I'm confused. Yeah, a lot of the 2D games are very samey, for sure, with Mario. That's true. My hottest take of them all is that I don't like pizza. Hold on one sec. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Sonic literally is the way it is because of Mario speedrunning. You are correct, Pajamas, and maybe I'm gonna have a video about that very soon. So yeah, maybe I was overly negative because I agree, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I still liked Mario 3 and Mario World a lot. I still think they're great games. I just don't think they're as good as Mario 1 Lost Levels. I think you have some Mandela effect there, Sam5. I'm not doing any game dev stuff. I mean, I've dabbled a little bit in the past. I've designed a couple of board games just to try it. And I mostly concluded that I'm not good at game design, so probably not something that I'm gonna... I mean, if an opportunity comes up, I wouldn't say no. I could give it a shot. But, it's a lot of work, and I don't really know what I'm doing. Multiplayer speedruns, that's a bizarro world, having to sync up all of your inputs with another player. I've seen some really cool Sonic 3 and Knuckles co-op speedruns with one as Sonic and one as Tails, and you can do a lot of crazy stuff, manipulating like Tails' spawning and stuff. I'm sure, yeah, you can do some cool things in the NSMB games. Oh my god, there's so many questions coming in. I'm sorry, I can't get to everything. Ugh. Any more top 10 video ideas? You like the Mega Drive one? Well, thanks. I'm glad you liked it. I would like to do maybe some more top 10, like, favorite games from different consoles, but that video didn't really do very well, so in the future I would like to, but only if I think it'll actually get some views. Yeah, I did see that there was a new Sonic board game coming. Not really particularly interested. Licensed board games, they can be okay, but, you know, it's not super common. They've done Sonic board games in the past, and none of them have really been anything worth caring about. Hello, Reckless. Welcome to the stream. Have I played level mods for this game? Actually, no. I have not gotten around to it yet. But I probably will at some point. I was thinking about maybe doing a video of, like, lots of cool, like, game-changing mods for games, like custom levels in Generations or Adventure, or, things that, like, give you a really different experience, not just enhancing the game, but, like, turning it into something else, because you can do that in a lot of different Sonic games, so that might be fun. Maybe a top 10 games of the year? The thing about that, Schweet, is I've already talked about most of my top 10 games of the year. I've already made videos out of them. It'd be like Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk, Hi-Fi Rush, Sonic Superstars, Mario Wonder, probably. I haven't played that many new games this year, and I've made videos of pretty much all of them, so you already kind of know my top 10 games of this year. Do I play card games as well, or just board games? Of course I play card games as well. They're, like, in the same category. I prefer to call them table games as a more of a catch-all term. Yeah, I love card games. What I think about Sonic Colors with a U? Great game. Really like it. Obviously the story has issues, but the game, I love. Pseudo Regalia, definitely a very good game, but I would not put it at #1, personally. But it would probably be on there, in my top 10. Again, just mostly because I haven't played that many new games this year. Does it bother me the lack of physics for classic Sonic and Gens, as Spin Dash makes up for it? When I first started playing this game again, because I haven't played Generations in a very long time, it was really weird to get used to, because the physics are not correct, but they're kind of close. It sort of does feel like the classic games, which was throwing me off when I would then try to do things that work in the classic games, and it doesn't work in Generations. So I was like, ugh, that was uncomfortable. But as I was playing the game more, I got used to how it works, and yeah, I would prefer if it had proper physics, but the game isn't really designed for it, and the way it works now with the crazy overpowered spin dash is really fun, so I'm okay with it. Fabio Chase, do I see appeals to exploration, most often used as a weak defense for usually amounts of mediocre filler in platformers? I see what you're saying, and I kind of do agree with that. A lot of exploration-focused games, the actual game and level design can usually be fairly weak in them. But there are ones that I enjoy, for sure. It's just a different kind of experience. But I am just someone who prefers some really tight, interesting game design, which you usually get more from, like, fast-paced, difficult action-type games. So, obviously, those are my preference. How much percent have I finished my video about the Sonic Riders story? Well, I have the art for it. I have the story almost completely written up. I just have to do the last, like, 2 or 3 scenes, and then I record the audio for it and edit it together, which I could probably do the audio recording in 1 day. The editing will probably take a day or 2. I have no idea how long the video will be. Could be, like, maybe up to an hour, depending on how in detail I go with it. It could come out relatively soon, but I think I'm going to hold off on that for a little bit later because I have other ideas of things I want to do until then. Do I have any pets? Currently, no. I used to have some cats in my old house, but at the moment, my landlords do not allow pets. What made me begin making Sonic videos? Early on, I didn't focus on Sonic much. It's what I said before, how all these thoughts I've had in all my videos about Sonic have been jumbled around in my head for years, and I hated it, and I wanted it out. I wanted to stop thinking about Sonic so much, so I wanted to put all of my thoughts out there to have some outlet for them, so I could finally stop thinking about Sonic so much. And it's worked in the sense that the things I've made videos of, I don't think about anymore, but I still think a lot about the things I've yet to make videos for. So this is a journey for me to finally get all of it out, and then I'd never have to think about Sonic ever again. And that'll be a glorious day. Am I gonna get Penny's Big Breakaway? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna get Penny's Big Breakaway. What kind of question is that? You can bet your ass there's gonna be a review for it when that game comes out. How do I feel about Sonic Dream Team being inspired by skate parks? I feel like it's a cool evolution of 2D Sonic being based on pinball. Oh, I have been thinking about Sonic and skate park design for a while. I was going to mention it in my Frontiers video. I think skate parks is the correct way to make, like, a big open-ended 3D Sonic level, because, like, skate parks are the only kind of natural, or not natural, real-world environment that have that kind of unnatural geometry and are very, like, open-ended and just designed for, you know, quote-unquote player expression and using the space in creative, fun ways. It's a perfect match for Sonic. So I'm very excited that Dream Team is using that kind of design. That's the kind of design I would like to see in Sonic Frontiers, as opposed to, instead of a skate park, it's designed like an amusement park, where you just walk around and then there's a bunch of rides to get on in the platforming sequences floating in the sky. Do I read manga? Yes. Haven't read in a long time, but I've read many manga, and I've loved a lot of them. Would I like the next 3D Mario to be more like Odyssey or Bowser's Fury? Well, I'd really like the next 3D Mario to be like both of them, in that I don't want it to be like either. I want it to be its own thing and stand out in its own way. Whoa! $20 from Samurai Gak. Thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate it. Love listening to your analysis of Sonic games and stories while I'm driving around for work, so I figure I'd pay it forward. Hope you're making money on the channel. Do you plan to do sponsorships? I would like to avoid doing sponsorships if possible. Because, you know, I don't like sponsorships in videos that I watch. I find it annoying. I skip through them, and, like, you get bombarded with so many of them on YouTube. And also, just personally me, I've thought about it, and my opinion is not for sale. The idea of me talking about some product that I really don't give a shit about, no. If I was gonna take a sponsorship, it would be for something that I would genuinely recommend to people. But even then, I still don't love the idea of shilling for stuff, because it turns me into someone that makes videos for all of you to enjoy, to someone that my job is to get eyes on an advertisement so a corporation can sell you their product, you know? Not a fan of that. Do I happen to collect any scale figures? No, I am not a collector. I don't really buy merchandise in general for anything particularly. Like, I don't have any Sonic figures, I don't have any anime stuff, no posters, no nothing, really. Because for me, it's like, well, I could spend $20 to get, you know, a piece of merchandise, or I could buy a video game with that money, and I like video games, so I'm gonna do that. Would I accept a Sega sponsorship? It depends what it's a sponsorship for, and what I'm allowed to say. I would always, if it's like here's a review code for our game, I'd be down for that, but I would have to be under the condition that I can be totally honest with my thoughts on the game. Have I got the better FX Pipeline mod? Yes, I do have that. Have I played TMNT Shredder's Revenge, or no? Not yet, but I definitely want to. What kind of clothes do I wear? What's my fashion style? I'm not much of a fashion person. I wear fucking jeans and hoodies most of the time. Do I prefer physical or digital media? Depends on what it is. For games, I'm all digital. I really don't care. But for books, I really like having a physical book in my hands to read. Makes it much more enjoyable. Same thing for comics. Movies and stuff, I do like to get physical discs when possible, but that's becoming less and less possible these days, so I'm kind of just having to let that go. If I've played any of the Bloodstained games, do I like Curse of the Moon or Ritual of the Night better? I'd probably say I like Curse of the Moon more, just because I prefer Classicvania to Egavania. But they're both excellent games. Thoughts on audiobooks? Not a fan of audiobooks. I've tried audiobooks a number of times. My issue with them is that, like, they're slow compared to reading. You know, I can read through a book way faster than I can listen to someone read it. So just sitting there and listening is not something I want to do. But listening to an audiobook while I'm doing something, oftentimes I get distracted with what I'm doing, and then I'm not focusing, and then I miss parts of the audiobook, which is also not good, so I just don't do audiobooks, I just read. Do I think Sonic is the best franchise in the world? Absolutely not. No. Oh, yeah, Little Big Wave. I saw that new game by the creators of the Goemon games. Looks super cool. Very excited for that. I may cover that when that comes out, and maybe do some videos on the Goemon games leading up to it, because, yeah, I like the Goemon games. They are quirky and interesting and cool and weird. And that new one is looking pretty cool. What franchise do I think managed well in contrast to Sonic? I mean, I could name, like, almost any Nintendo franchise. That's a pretty easy one. What is my favorite Sonic story? Probably Unleashed. Or maybe, honestly, the Metarex saga of Sonic X is pretty excellent. Do I like Rockstar games? No. Not into those kinds of AAA, narrative-focused, big explore, do whatever kind of games. Not my thing. Can't donate easy because it's a different currency? I would have figured that it would do conversions for you, through, like, Patreon or Coffee or something like that. Yeah, Dark Souls also is an excellent franchise. Yeah, I would agree it only has one stinker in Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 2 is still a really good game, you know, in general, compared to a lot of other stuff. Thoughts on Penny's Big Breakaway? Very excited for it. Top 10 favorite Sonic songs? How am I supposed to come up with that list off the top of my head? There's like 7 trillion amazing Sonic songs. I can't do that. I can't even pin down my #1 favorite. Thoughts on Frontiers making Sonic more popular in Japan? Good for Sega. They get to make more money, and it means that Sonic gets more budget, so I'm excited for that. Do you think Sega is ready for Sonic Adventure 3? Absolutely not. No. How about they make, like, a good, solid Sonic-based gameplay framework first? When they do that, then I'll think maybe. Also, maybe get a better writer. In case anyone missed it from before, I'm not playing right now. This is pre-recorded footage of me time attacking Sonic Generations. Do I like the music of the 3D games or 2D games more? I mean, I don't know. I don't really make a distinction. It's just music, and it's just good. It's all good. I don't know. Oh yeah, a lot of the classic music in Generations is pretty excellent. Classic Speed Highway is awesome. Classic City Escape, classic Rooftop Run, so good. A lot of the classic music in this is excellent. Oh yeah, classic the Crisis City, also really good. Thoughts on Jun Sonoe? He's really good at the butt rock. I wish they would have him doing more butt rock, because clearly people do not like his classic style music as much. Which is unfortunate, because he worked on the music for 3D Blast, and that game has great music, so I don't know, maybe he lost his touch with that kind of music for Sonic. Have I played the Sonic Superstars tune-up mod? No, I have not tried any mods for that game yet. What are my PC specs? Off the top of my head, I have a 3080. I have a Ryzen 5700X, I think. I think 32 gigs of RAM. I have an NVMe SSD. Have I played the classic Sonic Improvement mod for Generations? Yeah, it was cool, but I found it had a number of bugs that were getting in the way of playing, so I turned it off. Do I visit slash Sonic the Hedgehog? I assume that's what that is. No, I don't go to 4chan at all. Occasionally, I do dip into the Sonic Reddit. You can, once in a blue moon, find me commenting on there. Do I use logical increments to build my PC? I don't know what that means. Logical increments of what? Is that like a program or something? I use PC Part Picker. Yeah, that is a part of maybe some of Jun's issues with classic style music. He always makes it sound like Genesis music. It doesn't have to sound like Genesis music. The whole deal with Superstars is that it was a new classic game. You could have just made music. It didn't need to sound like it was Sega Genesis. Yeah, I got a pretty beefy PC. Obviously, Xenia might not run as well for a lot of people. Favorite character action game? DMC5. What do I think the next mainline Sonic game will be? How the fuck am I supposed to guess that? Well, we know it'll probably be open zone. Beyond that, I don't know. Thoughts on the Donkey Kong Country games? Great games. Especially the ones by Retro. Love those games. Super good. Have I watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? No. I'm just familiar with a lot of the memes. But I have not actually watched it myself. Doesn't really interest me that much, to be honest. Shonen action battle animes don't really grab my attention too much. I don't watch very many of them. Have I played Transformers Devastation? Yes. Really good game. It's got some issues, but very fun. Will I make a video on the DMC series then? I will probably make many videos on the DMC games eventually. I know about Rayman Origins Legends. Yeah, I played both. Great games. I know everyone says you should watch JoJo, but everyone also says I should watch My Hero Academia, and I'm just not interested in watching it. You can do whatever you want, Slashy. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily gonna check it out, but go right ahead. Is Sonic Origins good? I will say that it is the best official way to play Sonic 1, 2, and CD, I think. Less so for 3 and Knuckles. But good, well, I didn't pay money for it, so I'll answer with that. Best controlling 3D Sonic game? It would probably either be Adventure 1, Colors, or Frontiers. All those games, I think, have really nice, good-feeling controls. But obviously SA1 and Frontiers are both very janky. Am I a fan of movement shooters? Of course I'm a fan of movement shooters. Love them. Titanfall 2 is one of the best shooters ever made, if you ask me. Have I watched Kill la Kill? Yes, Kill la Kill is excellent. Have I played any Pac-Man games before? Yeah, I've played a lot of Pac-Man games. I picked up the Pac-Man arcade collection a while ago, and I played through all the games on there. And yeah, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed just good old-fashioned Pac-Man. Oh yeah, TF2, like, both TF2s, Titanfall 2 and Team Fortress 2, both some of the best shooters ever made, with excellent movement on both fronts. Pariah, who is your waifu? Sorry, Sweet, I don't do waifu stuff. If you had asked me that when I was in high school, I probably would have an answer for you, but not anymore. Yeah, Updog, the question is, what's a better game, TF2 or TF2? And it's really hard to say, because TF2 is excellent, but TF2 has such good movement. Ugh, so hard to pick. Just a boy, I will do my best to keep it up. How old am I? 27. Have I watched Invader Zim or Hell of a Boss? Invader Zim, yes, love it. Hell of a Boss, no, don't know what that is. Who was my waifu in high school? It was Holo from the Spice and Wolf series. I love the Spice and Wolf series. It is so good. I have the, I read all the novels, and then they released a big, like, anniversary collection of all 17 volumes collected in one giant book. And I picked that up. It was like $100, and I love it. It's so good. Do I want to talk about our Lord and Savior, De Blob 2? I played the first De Blob when it came out on Wii, and I thought it was an okay game, but not so good that I cared to pick up the second one, and I think that's what happened to literally every person on planet Earth, because I don't think the second one sold very well. Subsonic Sparkle, I would definitely recommend checking out Spice and Wolf. It is beyond excellent. It's one of my favorites of all time. I would recommend, if you're into light novels, read the light novels, because the anime only covers 4 out of 17 of them, so you get a tiny fraction of the series, and the whole thing is just fantastic the whole way through. Hello Boss is a series on YouTube about demon assassins. Okay. That doesn't immediately grab my attention. But maybe I'll look it up or something. What do I think of RPGs like Fallout New Vegas? Not a fan. Those kinds of games don't interest me whatsoever. Favorite game console? Probably GameCube, just because it was my childhood. What do I think of the Galaxy games? Great games. Way too much downtime, though. Between getting a star and beginning the next mission takes a shockingly long time, like 1 to 2 minutes, which, when there's 120 to 240 stars in the game, that's like hours of your life that you're spending on downtime in that game. It's quite a problem. What do I think of Tetris? Really fun! I picked up Tetris 99 on Switch, and I played it. That was like the first time I ever like really tried playing Tetris. I was shocked at how fun it is. Tetris 99, though, is kind of annoying. I found that very frustrating. But I want to pick up Tetris Effect and really get into Tetris and play it a bunch. I'll probably stream some Tetris eventually. I mean, the Galaxy games don't really need a remake. You could just re-release those, and that's all they need, pretty much. Which they already did for the first one, with a bad re-release, but, why did they not release Galaxy 2? That was weird. Do I have any OCs? Well, I have the ones that I've created for, the Sonic Riders story that I'm working on, but just myself in general, I actually never did the Sonic OCs thing as a kid. I was just very uncreative as a child, so no. Am I annoyed by the constant trend of remasters and remakes rather than new games? Well, here's the thing, Sweet. A lot of times new games don't interest me that much either. So, I mean, I think that there are definitely games that are deserving of remakes. Games that are good, but were held back by problems. Like, I think the Crash and Spyro remakes are really good games to get remade because they're really good games, but are heavily marred by technical limitations as PS1 games. So those getting remakes makes a lot of sense. Whereas something like Resident Evil 4 getting a remake, Resident Evil 4 was already perfect, so what really was the point of that other than just, obviously, money? I think something like Code Veronica would be much more deserving of a remake than RE4, but, you know, it is how it is. So the constant stream of remakes that we get these days, it's a little annoying, but, I don't know. I'm not too bothered by it, I suppose. Would I ever make videos about rewriting Sonic games? Funny you asked that, Super Guy. While I was playing through Colors, I was thinking about the story, and I was going, you know, you could actually make this story really good if you approached it a little bit differently and did things a little differently. And I was thinking I might do a video about rewriting the story of Sonic Colors, because I have some ideas that I think would be pretty fun and would make the story a lot better. If I could pick a Genesis game to be remade or have a sequel, which game would I pick? Rystar. I want to see a new Rystar game. I think Rystar has so much potential as a franchise, it is bizarre that they never did anything more with it. Thoughts on the Jet Set Radio 3 leak? If it ever comes out, I look forward to it. But, you know, I'm not clamoring for Jet Set Radio 3 as much anymore now that we have Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So, Sega's a little late to the party on that now. They waited too long. Somebody beat them to it. Rystar 2 by the Streets of Rage 4 team would be the most goated thing known to man. See, Subsonic Sparkle, I think I would rather the Streets of Rage 4 team make a new Shinobi game. Because there hasn't been a Shinobi in a long time, and that team has clearly demonstrated that they know how to make cool, awesome, difficult 2D action. So I say give them Shinobi and let them go crazy. My opinions on Fortnite if I played it? Never played Fortnite. I'm not a fan of Battle Royales. I've only played a small handful of them, and I have not liked any that I've touched. Rewriting the story of 06, the difficulty with that is that the story of 06 is so fucked that I don't know how much of that is even salvageable, how much you could redo. Like, so much would have to be drastically changed to make it work. Thoughts on Gran Turismo? Not a racing sim kind of guy. If I'm going to play a racing sim, then there needs to be crushers on the track and a boost meter. That's how I am. I feel that same way about sports games. The ball needs to light on fire, there needs to be crushers, people need to get killed, which weirdly, you get that out of, like, Mario Strikers, but that makes Mario Strikers so awesome. Yeah, exactly, Laura Ikoko. If you rewrite the story of 06 to fix it, you basically need to write a different story. What's my opinion on Forces? Do I think it's as bad as people say? No, I do not think it's as bad as people say. Obviously, it's not a good game, but people have, like, some kind of weird hate boner for that game. Like, I think it more has to do with the situation surrounding the game than the game itself, that, you know, Lost World, a lot of people didn't like, and then it was such a long wait, and then we got Forces, which was really mediocre, and so everyone was like, this is the worst game ever, but it's really not. It's not the worst Sonic game. It's not the worst mainline Sonic game, if you ask me. I think it's a much more enjoyable game than Lost World. But everyone acts like it's the worst thing ever, and it's not. It's just a not very good game. Exactly, Danny Ben. It's disappointing. People were more disappointed than it actually being bad, and that just overwhelmed the conversation around that game. Have I ever played Shenmue? No, but I would like to give it a try. who's gonna voice my OCs if the Riders Project ever... None of that is ever gonna happen. It's just a video of me explaining what the story would be. I have no plans to do anything more than that with it. Thoughts on old zone choices in Sonic Mania? I mean, my thoughts are that I wish there were no old zones in that game. I wish it was just entirely original zones. Shama Boy, thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Any thoughts on Penny's Big Breakaway? Looks fantastic. Can't wait to play it. Definitely gonna do a review on it when it comes out. Best racing game, Crash Team Racing. Crash Team Racing has the most insane mechanics I've ever seen in a racing game. It is extremely fun, extremely skill-based, very high skill ceiling, which is actually kind of bad for like a party racer because you can leave people in the dust and they have no chance. But damn is it fun to play. Any thoughts on Sonic Prime Season 2? No, I have not watched the second batch of episodes. I'm going to wait for the last batch and then watch all of it at once. Do I think some of the characters that should return mindset is hurtful for characters like Knuckles or Blaze? I always thought, why does this character not appearing is a bad thing? Yeah, I've talked about this in my Sonic Hero story video. I don't need every single Sonic character ever to always be around. Like, if a character just went away forever, I'd be okay with that. I'd be fine with, you know, temporary Sonic characters that they come, they have their time, and then they're gone. That'd be okay with me. I'd be okay if Knuckles was like that. I'd be okay if Blaze was like that. Just tell a couple of good stories with the character, and then once there's nothing left to do with that character, leave them alone. Let them be. Move on. But, you know, branding, recurring characters, gotta keep them around, so that's what happens. Flashy, thank you again for the donation. Have I heard of Project Rascal made by the Sonic GT team? Yeah, I talked about it in my video about Sonic-like games. Very excited for that. Sonic GT was awesome, and the demo I played of Project Rascal was also awesome. Definitely going to be doing a video on that when it comes out. You mentioned you don't like how Eggman is written currently, like in Frontiers and IDW. I feel something different too, but I was wondering if you could explain how he should be written. Okay. Well, I can't get into all of it because it's a complex thing, but one example, when I mentioned that in a video, I showed a picture of that one panel of Eggman repairing Metal Sonic, and he's kind of got like a... It's like a father-son thing, where it's like, those nasty kids beat you up, or whatever, right? And he's, like, proud of Metal Sonic for getting a good hit in on Sonic. And that's not Eggman. If you look at how Eggman behaves in all of the games prior to Sonic Colors, he has never shown any degree of affection for any of his machines whatsoever at all. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's acting all fatherly to Metal Sonic. That's not how the character treats Metal Sonic, or his creations in general. He doesn't really give a fuck about them. They're his tools. That's the kind of thing I talk about where I'm like, he's out of character there. That's not Eggman. Things like that, like really specific details that probably a lot of more surface-level fans might not pick up on. That applies to a lot of the characters, bigger or smaller discrepancies in how they behave, how they speak, how they interact with other characters, a lot of things. Forces has the worst designed Sonic levels I've ever seen. It's crazy how bad they are considering they had 3 games as a basis beforehand, but Forces still has horrible levels. See, I don't know if I would agree with that, because I really just hate Lost World so much, but that may be more the gameplay than the level design. But I have a lot of issues with the level design of Lost World. Orbot and Cubot, or Scratch and Grounder. The correct pick, Deco and Boko. Those are the 2 true Eggman comic cronies. What I think of Sonic Superstars? I liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed the game. The bosses are the one sour spot for me that really drag it down. But outside of that, I had a lot of fun with the game. Best Mario game? I would say Odyssey, probably. Thank you, Diego908. I appreciate that. How do I feel about Trip? She's cute. I like her. She's fine. That's a character that, again, I'd be okay if she was a one-off character or only appeared 1 or 2 more times. I wonder if she's going to become a new main classic Sonic character. I have a feeling probably not. I feel like the reception to her has not been strong enough to warrant that. But then again, the reception to Silver wasn't exactly strong when he first came out, and they kept him around, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Slashy, thank you again. You think Son Amy can work now? Do I? I mean, now, in the sense that Sonic and Amy are both written as completely different characters. I think they're current characters, sure, I guess. But the actual Sonic and Amy, I would say no. How's progress with my story? Do you mean my Sonic Riders story that I'm working on, or the novel I'm working on? Novel is very early on. I'm still developing ideas and working on character development and building the world. It's going to be a long time until that book comes out, because it's on the back burner a little bit, because I'm focusing mostly on the YouTube channel. Because I only got so much time in the day, and this makes me money now. If I could change the physics and controls in Sonic P06, what would I change? The only thing I think I would change in P06 is it has the thing where when you're moving faster, your turn radius gets larger, which I normally like in Sonic games. But with P06, it's like an adventure-type game, and to me, I associate adventure games with on-a-dime, instantaneous turning at full speed. That feels more Sonic Adventure to me, and I think the game might be a little more fun with that. Outside of that, I don't have any real problems with the physics. It'd be cool to add extra moves to the characters, like give Sonic the air cancel and things like that. What I think of Wonder and Triple Trouble 16-bit? I have not played Triple Trouble 16-bit yet, and Wonder, I liked it. I thought it was very good. Yeah, Little Big Wave, I feel ya on that. I want to make a video talking about that as well. Probably when I get to talking about Team Sonic Racing, because I look at the character select screen of Team Sonic Racing, and it's like, oh, who you gonna pick? Your favorite Sonic character? Because, you know, everyone pretty much plays the same gameplay-wise within their types, so it's really just skins of play the character you want to play. But I look at the cast of characters in that game, and I'm like, I don't like any of these characters. I don't really want to be any of them in particular over any other, because they're not the characters anymore. I don't like them anymore. So that'll be a discussion. Platinum Games or Capcom to work on Sonic's combat in the future? Well, I'd prefer if Sonic just didn't really have combat. But if I had to pick, I mean, I would just love to see Capcom just make a Sonic game. I think that they could bang out a fantastic Sonic game if they had the license for it. I would love to see that. Not that I don't think Platinum is a good developer that could do a good work, but I think Capcom is more in tune with the type of gameplay that a Sonic game requires. Best Sonic game, objectively speaking? Well, there's no such thing as objective judgment unless we're talking about, like, pure, like, functionality standpoint. But I would say overall the best Sonic game is probably Generations, right? Because Generations doesn't really have many flaws that I can think of. It has very, very minimal, small flaws that don't harm the experience very much at all. It's just all around a fantastic game. Francis T218, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. You love Generations and Project Unleashed. Who doesn't? The story is bad in Gens? I was like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even really have a story. I like the gameplay of the video game. Would I want a Sonic fighting game? I wouldn't want a traditional fighting game, but I would be interested to see a new take on Sonic Battle, because I think Sonic Battle is very interesting, and it has potential if it was fleshed out and done a bit better. I think it could be cool. I don't think that'll ever happen, though. Do I love 3K and Mania? Yeah. Who doesn't? The Sonic story analysis of Generations, I'm going to tell you right now, people have been joking about, oh, the Color story video is going to be 10 minutes, and it's not. I have a lot to say about that game. The Generations one may legitimately be 10 minutes, because it literally has no story in that game. I think I might bulk up that video with talking about a lot of other things, like the portrayal of classic Sonic and how he's handled, and the discrepancy between them being different timelines or different universes, and my thoughts on that whole thing. Because like the actual story of Generations is like non-existent. Exactly, Bravia. There's nothing to criticize. It's not a story, really. It's just a justification for two Sonics to run around in levels from previous games. And you know what? As that, it gets the job done. I couldn't really think of a better justification for what's happening in the game as a narrative. A thing being non-existent is a criticism itself? I don't necessarily think so. I am perfectly fine with the game just not having a story. I do not need a story in every single video game. In fact, I think more video games could use no story. I think way too many games focus on story way too much. As an example, I would point out like the Ninja Gaiden games, the 3D action ones. Those have the most stupid, boring, garbage shit stories that no one on planet Earth cares about. They could just not be there. They could just be pure action games with no narrative, and the game would be better for that, because no one cares. Classic Planet Wisp and Time Eater blows. Rest is great. You're not wrong about that, actually. Classic Planet Wisp is kind of a pain, for sure. And Time Eater, the thing is, I've played Sonic Generations like 50 times in my life, and I still don't know how Time Eater works. I still don't understand how to fight it effectively. I just kind of boost at it until I get hits and then it dies, and I don't know if, like, what am I supposed to do to effectively close the distance? Do I just wait? I don't know. Does getting hit by things slow me down significantly? It doesn't seem like it. When am I supposed to switch to the other characters? The like narration tells you switch now, and I'm like, okay, but then it's all weird. It just feels really bad. It's such a confusing fight. Do I have more Sonic Was Always Good videos planned in the future? Yeah, you're watching the footage that I recorded for one of them right now. Planet Wisp is overhated. I love it. I do think Planet Wisp in Generations is overhated. I do like the modern stage quite a bit, but the classic one can be kind of a pain, mainly due to the mechanics of how Spike works. It can be a bit frustrating. Thoughts on disgusting US SNES design? Like the design of the machine? I don't know, whatever. Francis T218, once again, thank you very much. Have I played or do I like the Unleashed project? Yeah, I talked about it in my Sonic Remakes video. Yeah, it's extremely impressive that people were able to recreate Unleashed that accurately inside of Sonic Generations. And it just goes to show how much people love that game and how much they wanted to play those levels. And Sega would have saved a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of work if they just put the game on PC. Just make the Generations video this stream, just do it right now. I definitely could not do that. I gotta think through a lot of what I want to say. It's all about the presentation. It's taking you on the journey of my thoughts. Just dumping them in a casual chat format is, it doesn't make as compelling of a video. What's my favorite fan game? Probably Sonic Roboblast 2. I could do a video editing stream, but I will never do that. No, I don't think Unleashed will come to PC either. I think that's one of the games that Sega has decided to abandon and pretend doesn't exist. So that's unfortunate. What inspired my black and white aesthetic? I just like black and white. It's really that simple. I just think it looks cool. Nothing more complex to it than that. I guess also in the fact that it's a unique thing for YouTube and it helps my stuff stand out. You know, that's nice as well. Ends after the first editing program crash? Well, then that won't be too long of a stream. How much eggs do I put in one basket? I mean, I guess just in general, I'm trying to diversify my income. You know, I write, and I want to start a podcast, and if I really like streaming and I continue doing it and maybe want to do it more regularly, I may move over to Twitch. Just to separate it from the YouTube channel so I have different avenues in case, for whatever reason, the YouTube channel were to explode. Classic physics, not great, but he's still tons of fun. Once again from Francis, thank you very much. The classic physics and Generations, they're not ideal, they're not perfect, but it's a really fun game. I don't need perfect Sonic physics to find it a fun game. I enjoy the Rivals games, and those definitely don't have good Sonic physics. And Rhythm and Tempo, another donation, thank you very much. Have I played Beta, Windy Valley, and Sonic Adventure? In my opinion, it's the current pinnacle of what classic Sonic gameplay in 3D should be. Yes, I played the Beta, Windy Valley. I mentioned it in my review video of Sonic Adventure. And I think it is easily the best level in all of Sonic Adventure, better than any of the final levels. Which is weird, but it clearly has like a different design philosophy than the final levels in the game. They clearly had different ideas earlier on, and I wish they continued with those ideas because I think it would have been good. Don't move to Twitch for my own good? What's wrong with Twitch? Okay, question. Would I have Sonic Roboblast 2 and no longer new Sonic games? Or new Sonic games, but no longer play Roboblast 2. I mean, I'd probably say more new Sonic games. You're asking me to compare one Sonic game to the rest of the potential Sonic games ever of all time. So yeah, I'll take that. Who should be the second Sonic character in Smash Bros? I mean, the easiest would be Shadow, because you could just make him an Echo Fighter of Sonic. Honestly, I think that's probably the smart thing to do. Alternatively, what I'd like to see for the next Smash Bros. Game is Classic Sonic instead of Modern Sonic. Just to change things up and do something a little interesting. Yeah, that's probably a good point, Erico Christie. They had all those slopes clearly built for, like, okay, so this will have Sonic physics, and then the game did not have Sonic physics, and so they didn't work. So they're like, okay, let's design the game that actually works for our really bad physics system. Have I played the 3D Rayman games? Yeah, I love them. They're great. Thoughts on Sonic's bad treatment in Smash? I don't understand why people complain so much about Sonic's moveset in Smash. Outside of the fact that he has 2 spin dashes, I think his moveset is perfectly fine. I play Sonic. He's one of the characters that I play, and I think he's really fun. I don't see a problem. Just get rid of his side B and replace it with a different move, and that's all I would need. What's the best stealth mechanics in any game I've played? I'd probably say MGS5. That game is incredibly technically impressive as a stealth game. It is really, really in-depth and very cool. Francis T again! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all these donations, dude. City Escape and Crisis City, my fave classic gens levels. They are pretty excellent levels, for sure. I might say Crisis City is my favorite. Honestly, all the classic levels in this game are really fun. I don't even know if I have a preference, so I might just say classic Crisis City just because the music is so good. Myth Retroman 2, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Are there any video game stories I like? Yes. Not many, to be honest. I think a lot of games don't really have very good stories, but, I like the Mass Effect games a lot. I like the Persona games. I liked the story of Gravity Rush. Trying to think. I like the story of the Valkyria Chronicles games. I know this is all weeb shit, but I promise I like Western game stories as well. I'm just struggling to think of them off the top of my head. How would I salvage Sonic Frontiers combat? I would remove it. I know that's a cop-out answer, but I think that would legitimately be the best thing for the game. What do I think about the Insomniac Spider-Man games? Zero interest in them whatsoever. They are everything that I am tired of in AAA video games. Do not care for them. Who do I think is the better writer, Ian Flynn or Shiro Maekawa? Well, I haven't read a lot of Ian Flynn's stuff, but from what I've seen, Ian is a better technical writer, but I feel like Shiro Maekawa tells stories that are more engaging and enjoyable and interesting. Oh yeah, of course, Hisu, Outer Wilds. That's the best story I've ever encountered ever in anything. And it's a video game, so there you go. Do I like the Monkey Ball games? Not really. Not a fan. A little too simple for me. Have I played the Ace Attorney games? I played the first two, and they were really, really good. Haven't gotten around to playing any others. Example of good bosses in platformers. I think the Kirby games have pretty good boss fights, but those games are kind of more like action games than platformers, I would argue. Good bosses in platformers. That's honestly kind of a rare thing. Yeah, I agree, Francis. The Spike Wisp is, it's annoying in how it functions, and it does make the level kind of a pain. Oh yeah, Mega Man bosses. Obviously, those are good. Cuphead, well, I wouldn't really call Cuphead a platformer. That's a boss fighting game. You'd like to see a video of what I dislike about AAA games? Yeah, I could do a video like that, I guess. I have a lot of video plans for just various random topics about games at large. I mean, the thing is, it's not really that different from what a lot of people say that they're sick of in AAA games. I don't care for big cinematic stories. I don't care for open worlds most of the time. Usually they're boring. The gameplay in a lot of those kinds of games is very samey and standard and not very interesting or challenging. So, yeah. Yeah, they're just not my kind of games. Would I be interested in a 3D classic Mega Man game? Well, I'm not a huge Mega Man fan to begin with. I've only played 2, X, and Mega Man and Bass. So I'd be interested in playing just more Mega Man games first. Do I play Fire Emblem? Never touched one before. Have I played Hunt Down? I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that before. One common thing about AAA games you don't like that's kind of different from the usual? I guess I would say that a lot of AAA games to me don't have very engaging gameplay. Like, I've tried playing God of War, and I thought the combat in that game was really boring. It's kind of mediocre in my opinion. Favorite non-Sonic Mario 2D platformers? Once again, thank you, Francis. There's a lot. Off the top of my head, I might say the Donkey Kong Country games, probably. Specifically the retro ones. Yeah, I'm talking new God of War, not old God of War, although I don't think old God of War has good combat either. Yeah, King Kerbo stuff. The Kirby games, when you really look at how they're designed, they're really 2D action games more than platformers. And they're honestly even kind of fairly challenging in, like, the core design. They're just extremely forgiving with how much damage you're allowed to take. But, like, when you do those boss rushes and you have to actually not take hits, you realize how difficult it is to not take hits in Kirby. Because it's actually kind of a difficult game, just very forgiving. How would I fix Frontier's story? Yeah, I haven't thought about that, but it would require a lot of rewriting. Will I do Sonic physics breakdown video? You mean the video I mentioned about, like, real physics in association with Sonic? Yes, I will do that. That's probably the next video I'm going to work on. Have I played Wario Land games or Pizza Tower? I've tried Wario Land, didn't really care for it. I tried the demo of Pizza Tower, loved it, just haven't played the full game yet. Ratchet & Clank, Jak and Daxter, or Sly Cooper? Thank you, Chris Delgado. Is that a question of comparison? Like, if I had to pick one, which would I pick? Or just my opinions on those three franchises in general? I guess I'll answer both. I like all those games. Jak probably least, because I don't really like Jak 2 or 3 at all. If I had to pick just one, it would probably be Ratchet, because it has the most games. And they're pretty much all fantastic. Opinions on Celeste, Shovel Knight, Pizza Tower. Thank you, Francis. Celeste, I didn't really care for, to be honest. Just the gameplay and design and movement mechanics of that game didn't really interest me. Shovel Knight is a fantastic game. I love that. Pizza Tower, yet to play it, but the demo I played was excellent. Yes, I know, Sweet. Everyone, yes, I know, Pizza Tower. I will play Pizza Tower. I will get a review of it. To be honest, I'm just waiting for it to go on the next Steam sale, and then I will pick it up, and I'll do a video on it. So everybody shut up. Shovel Knight is way too hard. I think Shovel Knight has a perfect amount of balance on its difficulty. It's not an ultra crazy, uber, super duper hard game, but it's a challenging game. It's not free, and I think it's really good. Have I played a Hat in Time? Absolutely. Hat in Time is a phenomenal game. One of my favorite 3D platformers ever. Hollow Knight thoughts? Also phenomenal game. Probably my favorite Metroidvania. Oh yeah, here's you. You can see me struggling with the nightmare of classic Planet Wisp. And how difficult it is to do anything consistently in this level because of how specific a lot of the skips are. And the Spike Wisp, and it can be very frustrating how it functions, jumping off walls and ceilings. Yeah, this level. It's a pain. It's fun, but it's a pain. Do I like psychological horror? Yes, but I haven't engaged with a ton of it. But the little I have checked out has been pretty cool. Have I ever considered making videos about the Rayman games? Yeah, I probably will eventually. Do you care for lore in video games? Generally, no. I'm not a huge lore person. I prefer quality storytelling than interesting world building. The thing about Hollow Knight is, its lore is directly tied into its storytelling. Its lore and world building is the storytelling, and I think it's straightforward enough that it's easy to grasp the story of Hollow Knight just playing the game, as compared to the Souls games, which it obviously takes influence from. Those, I think, are way too cryptic, and I've played through many a Souls game having abso-fucking-lutely no idea what's going on. What's my opinion on the Metroid games? Love them. They're fantastic. I prefer 2D Metroid over Prime. I think that the combat and the moment-to-moment gameplay is more action-packed and intense in the 2D Metroids. But the Primes are still excellent. Judging by my high standards for combat, I'm guessing I don't care for the Batman Arkham games. You would be wrong. I think the Batman Arkham games have very fun combat. It's simple, yes, but it is unique. You know, unique in the fact that, like, if you discount all the ripoffs of Arkham at the time, it was unique and different. And It's fun as kind of like a dynamic rhythm game where you have to be on your toes and keeping that pacing going, but also watching what all the enemies are doing and not dropping your combo. Like the combat challenges in the Arkham games and trying to get good ranks on them and doing the whole challenge in one combo, super duper fun. I love the combat system in the Arkham games. Why am I called Pariah695? Because I wanted to call myself Pariah on Xbox because of an in-joke I had with friends. But that was taken, obviously, so Xbox gave me a random string of numbers at the end of it, and I was like, sure, that's fine. I'll explain that in-joke with friends one day in a video. I have plans for it, because it'll be interesting, I think. Do I like DKC Tropical Freeze? Yeah, fantastic game. Those retro DKC games are, I would say, have genius level design as 2D platformers. They are fucking amazingly smartly designed. Grim Jim, I see what you're saying. Personally, I prefer that it's more Metroid, less Castlevania. I don't love the RPG elements of the Castlevania games. I prefer the pure platforming exploration combat of Metroid to the RPG-ness, equipment managing XP stuff that you get in the Castlevania games. So Metroidvanias that lean closer to Metroid are more to my preference, generally. Thoughts on the Sonic movies? Only saw the first one. I thought it was fine, but didn't really care for it much. Thoughts on Marvel Spider-Man games? Not interested. They're everything I'm tired of in AAA video games. Yeah, Bravia. DKC Returns, when I first played that game, I was blown away at both how fun the game was to play and how incredibly smart the design is. Francis T, thank you again. Freedom Planet 2 versus Spark 1. Haven't played Freedom Planet 2 yet. I really have to get around to that. But I assume it's fucking phenomenal, because the first Freedom Planet was phenomenal. Versus Spark 1. I mean, Spark 1's also a fantastic game, so, I mean, you're asking me to say which of these two incredible Sonic-like games with awesome combat is better, and they're both 10 out of 10s, so, I don't know. How am I supposed to compare? I probably would love Mega Man. The little bit I've played, like Mega Man X was a fantastic game, so I'm definitely interested in playing more of those. The little bits I've seen of Mega Man Zero look great, because it looks like Mega Man X, but with the speed turned up even higher. And I'm a big fan of the Azure Striker Gunvault games, which are by Inti Creates, who made the Mega Man Zero games. So yeah, I absolutely want to check out Mega Man more, I just haven't done it yet. What do I think is the most well-constructed symbolism in Sonic Adventure 2? That is a in-there question, but I guess I would probably say either the representation of the fake Chaos Emerald and how it represents Shadow, or honestly, just Sonic and Shadow and how they represent the genuine article and an artificial recreation. Both are very interesting, and obviously are linked together, because I think that's the most interesting aspect of Sonic Adventure 2's story. Am I annoyed at the lack of DK games as I rate them that highly? Not particularly. I don't need new entries in every single video game series that I love forever. We got two phenomenal platformers that I really couldn't ask for anything more out of them, so I'm satisfied with Retro DK. If they ever make a new one, I'll be hyped for it. I'll be there, but I'm good. I guess if anything, I would like to see Retro, or maybe anyone, tackle the Retro DKC formula in 3D. I think that could be potentially really cool. That kind of fast-paced, really good level design gameplay in a linear-focused platformer, that could be really fun. How do I feel about the Kirby games, and which are my favorite? I love the Kirby games. I've played almost all of them. My favorite is Triple Deluxe. I know a lot of people put Robobot over Triple Deluxe, and it's very close. But I think that Triple Deluxe is a little bit better. I think the finale of Triple Deluxe is a little stronger, which might seem a little strange because Robobot goes so crazy, but I think Triple Deluxe does it a little bit better. They're both fantastic games, though. Short opinion on Sonic Heroes. It's a really, really messy game. Oh, this reset. Hold on. Let me, here. I'll pull up the modern time attack. It's a really messy game with a lot of problems, but I think the core gameplay is really fun. Someone disliked the stream after the Robobot opinion. Hey, I still think Robobot is an incredible game. I just like Triple Deluxe ever so slightly more. DK Bongo, thank you very much. Thoughts on post-Majora's Mask Zelda games? Wind Waker, Twilight Princess? I mean, they're fantastic, and I'll be doing videos on them, of course. Francis T, thank you again. 3D games. How is Mario 3D World and Spark 3? Well, I haven't played Spark 3 yet, either. Mario 3D World is a fun game. Not my favorite 3D Mario, but I enjoy it. Thoughts on No More Heroes? I haven't played it very much, but it has very, very basic, simplistic combat, so it doesn't really interest me. Stylistically, it's very cool, but Suda51's games are very, like, crude and juvenile in a way that I'm not a big fan of. No, it's fine, Francis. I appreciate all the donations. You know, you don't have to donate to ask me a question, but if you want to, that means a lot. Thoughts on Mario Kart? Who doesn't like Mario Kart? What kind of question is that? Everybody loves Mario Kart. I'm probably going to stream some Mario Kart 8 sometime soon, and maybe we can get a lobby going and play together. What do I think of the Sonic Channel stories for 2023 or any other previous year? Have they been doing more Sonic Channel stories for this year? I did not know. I read the ones from a while ago, and they were not great. They were, I guess, okay-ish, sort of. But, not super good. How are the new ones? I don't know. You let me know. Thoughts on the Mario RPGs? I liked Paper Mario, the first one. That's the only one I've played. And I played it because I played Bug Fables, and I loved that game, so I wanted to go back and try Paper Mario. Looking forward to Thousand Year Door. Gonna play the remake of that. Probably do a video on it. Mario RPG, I tried. Didn't really get into it. Might pick up the remake. We'll see. Mario and Luigi, I don't like it very much, actually, because I feel that the ability to avoid every single attack with action commands means that strategy isn't very important in that game because you can avoid every single attack. So an enemy being alive for one more turn doesn't really matter very much. And similarly, killing enemies effectively also doesn't matter. So you don't really have a strong incentive to use your powerful moves because it doesn't really make much of a difference. Of course, that's dependent on if you can dodge all the attacks, but at least of what I played of the first one, the attacks weren't that difficult to avoid, so I found myself getting very bored with the combat. And for the Mario and Rabbids games, never played them, but I kind of want to give them a try. They seem interesting, especially the second one. Francis T, thank you again! Best worst level in Sonic 1, 2, 3K Mania, and Superstars. Oh god. Okay, best level in Sonic 1, I mean, it's gotta be Green Hill, obviously. Alternatively, I do like Starlight Zone a lot. I think that zone is very, very fun. Sonic 2, best zone, I would say. I like Mystic Cave a lot. I think that's a very fun zone. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I would say... Flying Battery, off the top of my head, maybe? Mania... Metallic Madness, I think. I think that zone is really fun and vastly improved over the original. And then Superstars... I don't know, Superstars felt pretty... you know what? I think it's probably the desert-themed level in Superstars. I think that's a very fun zone. Worst level in all the games? Okay, real quick. Sonic 1, obviously, it's Labyrinth Zone. Sonic 2, The Hilltop. I don't really love Hilltop. Sonic 3, Sandopolis, Mania. Weakest zone in Mania. Honestly, I would probably say Titanic Monarch. I think it's kind of anticlimactic, and the level design isn't super interesting. And Superstar's worst zone. Honestly, I might say Bridge Island. It kind of feels quite messy and cluttered. That's all off the top of my head. Flying Battery is best Sonic 3 zone is insane. Is it? I mean, that was just off the top of my head. I wasn't thinking about it too deeply. Wing Fortress? Oh, yeah. I mean, Wing Fortress isn't very good. But I wasn't even thinking about that as a zone. But yeah, I guess that is the worst. You think Superstars peaked with Bridge Island? I mean, I guess I enjoyed Superstars and a lot of other people, so that's not too surprising. For me, what game captures Sonic's character the best? Unleashed. What would I want from a new 3D Rayman? Similar to what I said about the retro DKC games, I would love to see a 3D Rayman that takes the gameplay and formula from Origins and Legends and does that in 3D, as opposed to the more slower-paced, relaxed 3D gameplay of Raymans 2 and 3. You're welcome, friendly neighborhood. I'm trying to get to as many as I can, but there's a lot of people and a lot of questions coming in, and I can only do so much. Kind of specific but simple question. Any thoughts on Death Battle? You mean like this character versus this character? I don't fucking care. That shit is stupid. In any instance of who would win this character or this character, my answer is always whoever the writer wants to win, because that's how fiction works. I can just make any character win if I just write the story that way. Francis, thank you again. You think Metro is the worst in Sonic 2 and Sandopolis underrated? Gotta disagree. I do not dislike Metropolis. I think it's a pretty fun zone. I think it's fun. It's difficult, but I think it's difficult in a very good way that's appropriate for the game. And I don't think it's unfair. People are just bad. Y'all are just bad. I said it. Thoughts on Sonic 4? Last time I played Sonic 4, I stopped playing because it was just too boring. So it'll be interesting revisiting it for the videos to see what I think. I wouldn't say it's a horrible game, but it's just not very interesting. Have I played Kingdom Hearts? No, I've never played a Kingdom Hearts game. Kind of want to try them because I've heard the combat, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, is really, really good. But from what I've seen of the stories of the Kingdom Hearts games, they look like a big pile of trash. And I bet a bunch of people want me to do story videos on them. And I'm not gonna want to do that, most likely. I already have enough investment in some garbage, nonsense Japanese storytelling in the Sonic games. I can't do it with Kingdom Hearts 2. Would I say a new Rush type of game would work? I think that Rush has a better general core gameplay design than a lot of the Boost games. So, yeah, I'd be down for a new Rush-style game, absolutely. Nero the game. It's sincere trash, very endearing. I can understand that. And again, that's Sonic 2, and I can only have so much of that in my life. Favorite Sonic VA besides Kanemaru-san? You know, Hisuya, what that answer would be, so you had to put that in there. I would say... You know, I do like his Japanese voice actor in Sonic OVA. I think he's pretty fitting for classic Sonic. As far as English actors goes, I think that Ryan has the best voice for Sonic, but I think that Roger and, I forget his name, the guy who does Sonic in Prime, they're clearly better actors. Will I eventually do a proper Sonic Chronicles review? No. I tried, I'm sorry. The game is just too boring to play through. Would you want to see Rush style in 3D? I mean, that would really just be a boost game with, you know, a different meter function and a trick system. Sure, I'd be okay with that. Honestly, you know what I think would be a good way to bring back, like, Rush-style gameplay? If they could ever make it happen, make a Blaze spin-off game, and her gameplay is the Rush gameplay. I think that would be really cool. Do I have a favorite badnik? Not really. I'm trying to think if there's anyone that stands out to me. I mean, I guess I would say I like egg pawns. I think they're a really good design for, like, a basic Eggman ground unit that is versatile and can do a lot of things. I think the egg pawns are fantastic. Wesdom, is my button working? I assume you're asking if one of my buttons in my controller is working in this gameplay? No, actually. My controller is going. I need to get a new one. I was having issues about inputs getting dropped in a lot of the games I've been playing recently. I need a new controller. Happened in the Mario games, too. Oh yeah, Devin Mack is the voice of Sonic in Prime. Yeah, I think he's a good actor. Is there a Sonic character I think Flynn writes mostly in character? To be honest, I haven't been exposed to enough of his writing to say very much. So... I don't know. Probably somebody, right? He probably writes Espio fine. It's hard to fuck up Espio. He's just a ninja. How do you not write that correctly? You recommend the 8BitDo Pro 2 or 8BitDo Pro Ultimate for a new controller? I've heard about the 8BitDos. I've never used them. I've been using the Ghoulie Kit King Kong Pro 2 because it's a Switch controller in the shape of an Xbox controller that you can also use on PC, and it has gyro and HD rumble built into it, and it's really great, but the buttons have been failing me. I might just buy another one of those, or I might just get a new Xbox controller. I'll see. I've heard rumors that Xbox is working on a new controller with gyro built into it, so I might wait on that, or maybe I'll wait until the next Nintendo console and get the Pro controller for that. That's still like a year away, though, so I'll have to get something in the meantime, I assume. Yeah, the King Kong controller is good when it's working. Opinions on Hideo Kojima's games and writing. I have only played MGS5. That's the only Kojima game I played. The gameplay in it was phenomenal. To be honest, I had no idea what was going on and didn't give a fuck about the story of MGS5, and I was kind of skipping the cutscenes a lot. Because if I'm going to get into MGS, I want to start at the beginning and go through all of it. I was looking forward to those MGS collections that recently came out, but apparently they're not very good, so I guess I'll have to turn to emulation. I will probably do videos on the MGS games when I do finally play through them. I'm sure I could definitely do story videos out of them, considering how well-regarded they are with storytelling and stuff. I'll be honest, a little bit of Kojima's stuff does seem a little like sniffing his own farts, thinking he's some genius auteur, and maybe that's warranted. Again, I haven't played many of his games, but it seems very arrogant, and it comes off in a bad way for me. Thoughts on Metal Gear Rising? Honestly, I don't love Metal Gear Rising. It's really great on the spectacle, and it has kick-ass music. But the gameplay, I feel, is not nearly as good as Platinum's other games. It's still a very good game, of course, but it's probably my least favorite of their action games that they've done. Favorite Godzilla movie? Well, I haven't seen very many Godzilla movies, but of the ones I've seen, I would say Shin Godzilla. That movie is phenomenal, and I'm very much looking forward to Godzilla -1. Those legendary Godzilla movies are dog shit. They are so bad. Oh yeah, by the way, get ready to see a lot of Modern Sky Sanctuary. This level is a bitch and a half. Because I've played Sonic Generations so much that I go for really risky, really difficult skips, because it's the only way to improve my times anymore. And it takes a long time to do certain levels because of how difficult all the things I'm doing are. On top of that, my controller was messing up, and also sometimes my inputs were just dropping in this game separate from my controller, just like certain moments, similar to the Unleashed problem, where like my button just doesn't work when I get to this one part of the level. It's very weird. Thoughts on Generations 3DS? It's an okay game. Probably one of my least favorite 2D Sonic games. The level design is kind of weak, but not a bad game at all. I'll review it. Plans on a Sonic tier list video? Yes, I will be doing that after I review all the Sonic games, and I'm gonna do it a little bit differently than a lot of people, so it should be interesting. Oh my god, there's so many people here! Why are you all here? Don't you have anything better to do than just listen to me ramble? Yeah, Andy, Gens has weird input lag, and just input dropping in general sometimes. It's just, it can be pretty frustrating, honestly. What do I think about Sonic Team's bold statement that they'll surpass Mario? Well, they weren't saying they wanted to surpass... Oh, yeah, they did say they want to surpass it. And, you know, I agree. I want Sonic to surpass Mario. Whether or not they'll do it? Good luck. I wouldn't say I have a ton of confidence in their current ability to make that happen, but I would love to see it. Put your money where your mouth is. Step up to the plate and make it happen. I guess you guys enjoy it. I mean, listening to me ramble is this entire YouTube channel, so of course you guys are here for it. Favorite Sonic rival? I mean, it's kind of gotta be Shadow, right? Because he's the most interesting, complex, depthful character. But I guess overall Shadow is a really inconsistent, messy character, so overall it would probably be Blaze, because she doesn't really have many problems. She hasn't been too poorly handled in the later years of the series. How's my day been? Pretty good. Didn't do too much today, just got a couple of things done. And now I'm doing this, because I had some free time. And I figure, why not? Do you think the name of the Dark Era is warranted? Okay, no shit to Jay's reviews. He makes good videos, but I hate him for coming up with that dumbass era shit. I do not subscribe to that at all. I never use those terms. I think it's stupid. I hate that it's become just like a universal thing that the community uses all the time. There's so many issues with the concept of those eras that I don't agree with at all. I just refer to the games by what they are. It's a boost game, it's an adventure game, whatever. Or I divide it by decades. A 2000s game, a 2010s game, 90s game, stuff like that. Yeah, I saw that thing about Ian wanting to merge the Soul Dimension with Sonic's World. He didn't say he was gonna do that. He said that's something he would like to do, I think, in the context of a new Rush game. And I understand that from his perspective, why he would want to do that, because he's a big fan of mushing everything together into one easy, malleable thing where you can just have a million characters and a billion things happening in the world. Personally, I would not want that. I'd be okay, like I said before, if Blaze just went away. I'd be fine with that. I should play Mystic Cave Maniafied mod. I'm not familiar with that. I will take a look at it. Thanks, Francis, once again. Was it around before him? I thought that Jay made those terms. That's the first place I ever heard it, and then ever since that video, everyone's been calling it that. Do I agree that Ian Flynn lacks subtlety? I mean, yes, but there's a lot about his writing that I find is lacking, especially for Sonic. So, not just that specifically. Yeah, Shivery Mountainside and Frozen Hill, definitely want to check those out for sure. They look very cool, very impressive. Especially Shivery Mountainside, it looks like visually just as polished and refined as an official level. It's very, very impressive. Would I want to see Mario and Sonic in a platformer game together? Sure, that would be cool. I think a 2D platformer would be better because they're more similar. 3D Sonic and 3D Mario are very different. But honestly, I think the ideal way to do a Mario Sonic crossover would be an RPG. I think that would be the best. There will never be an Ian Flynn slander video. There will be a video where I talk about the Sonic comics and why I don't like them, which will involve talking a lot about Ian's writing. So that's when that'll happen. How can I call myself a true Sonic fan if I haven't played all 100 million levels of Blue Sphere? Why do you assume I haven't? How about that, Schweet? How about you do your research, huh? Thoughts on Sonic Utopia? What direction will you have taken it? Sonic Utopia is incredibly close to the direction that I had envisioned of what I would do with a 3D Sonic game. There are some differences between what I would like to do in that, but it's pretty close, and I'm a big fan of the ideas going on there. We'll see if it ever happens. I don't know at this point. Have I ever tried Sonic Speed Simulator or any other Roblox Sonic games? I've never touched Roblox. To be honest, I don't even really understand exactly what it is. It's like a game, but it's like a game-making game at the same time or something, I think. I don't know. I think I'm just going to steer clear of Roblox for my entire life. I think I'll be okay with that. Francis, you like GT and Encore in 3D? Yeah, both those games are very fun. Also, still a little off the mark of what I would like to see ideally, but on the right track, for sure. How's my progress on my Sonic story? Which one? Okay, Roblox is not a game in and of itself? Okay, I didn't know that. Because I would see people playing Roblox, and I'm like, is that a game? I don't know. It seems like a social, like, I don't know, Club Penguin type thing. Favorite Sonic gameplay style? I would say classic gameplay, but I guess more specifically it would be like the advanced, fleshed out classic gameplay where we push it forward and do new things with it. Club Penguin review when? Aren't the servers not up for that anymore? Can't you not play it? There's probably some fan servers or something, right? Fucking not happening. I don't plan on ever touching Club Penguin again. I played it when I was a little kid. Favorite Generations level? I could not tell you that. It's impossible. They're all so good. I don't know. I don't know. Pariah reviewing Toontown, also not happening. I know that game is back up, but not interested. Again, I played it as a little kid, but no. Cats or dogs? Cats. I'm a cat person. Is someone gonna ask me when's the Neo Pet? Oh my god, I knew it! Grim Jim. Freaking Neopets. No. No Neopets either. Pariah reviewing all billions of levels of Blue Spheres. That could be a stream, just playing Blue Sphere and trying to get through as many levels as I can. When will Pariah become a cartoon reviewer and review every season of SpongeBob? Well, I would probably just review the first 3 seasons together as a bundle. But the channel is a gaming channel. I mean, more specifically, it's a Sonic channel. It's already hard enough to get people to watch non-Sonic stuff. So, branching out into other things besides games is not really doable. I'd have to make another channel for it or something like that. I'll probably talk about cartoons and movies and books and stuff on the podcast that I'm going to be doing, so stay tuned for that. Prestige, thank you very much. Roblox is essentially YouTube if you could upload games instead of videos. There's a ton of trash, but there are a few decent, great games on there. Okay. Again, I think I'm probably just going to steer clear of it. That's a whole universe that I think I can do without in my life. You would watch my Pariah videos, Schweet. Well, I appreciate that. That's great. But most people wouldn't. Pariah doesn't just watch anime? No, I don't just watch anime. I do watch Western television as well. And just lots of different things. I most recently watched Squid Game. Really, really good show. Very much enjoyed that. I think they said they're going to do a season 2. Looking forward to it. Do I like Hunter x Hunter? Never watched it. Don't really know anything about it. Have I played Binding of Isaac? Only like 300 hours, so not a whole lot. Still haven't gotten the most recent DLC, though. I'll probably stream that when I pick it up. Thoughts on Squid Game's ending? I can't say too much because it's spoilers, but it was interesting. It was a little weird, not the direction I was expecting it to go in. Like I said, I think they're doing a Season 2, which makes sense based off that ending, so I am looking forward to seeing more. Squid Game is, in fact, not just a meme. It is a real show that you can watch that is very good. Yes, I will, Sweet. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I was a little burnt out of Binding of Isaac after playing 300 hours of it, but I'm kind of feeling like going back to it. Am I going to stream Dream Team? Maybe. I might not, just because I probably want to pay attention and focus on the game for my first playthrough. But I'll probably do like a Let's Play of it, and obviously I'll be reviewing it. Have I played Sticker Star? I tried Sticker Star, and it was the most boring fucking thing I've ever played in my life. That's not true, but oh my god, that game sucks. Yes, I know it's a good video game, Sweet, and I've heard that it fixes a lot of Afterbirth Plus's problems. The main thing that turned me off of Isaac is that eventually, when you have a lot of items unlocked, it basically becomes like free wins the game, because you get, almost no matter what items you get, you'll get a ridiculously powerful combo that insta-kills everything in the room every playthrough, and you barely even play the game anymore. But I have heard that the DLC nerfs a lot of things and addresses that, kind of, which is very exciting to me. Do I like Star Fox? Unfortunately, no. I don't like that I don't like Star Fox, because I love the world and the characters and everything, but the gameplay just doesn't interest me, just like a rail shooter. Not my kind of thing. Have I played any Sonic prototypes? No, I have not. Honestly, I don't really care that much about checking out, like, in-production things in games. Like, people get so excited about, oh, the early version of the game, and I don't know, it's just getting a glimpse at the development process. You know, as a creative myself, it's like, you don't want to read earlier drafts of my writing, because it's just the same story, but not as good, and some things are moved around in different places and stuff. Like, it's not that interesting to me. Some of the early concepts and things can be interesting when you can see it still in the final product, and understanding the thought process can be interesting, but just like playing an incomplete version of a level, I don't really care much for that. Thoughts on the average size of a human mother? It's a funny meme. Rhythm and Tempo, thank you very much. Oh my god, $10. I appreciate it. You've never been wild about projects like Sonic Utopia. Sonic feels like an ant in a world scaled to human proportions. Do you prefer fast, zoomy, floaty Sonic, or slower, more methodical, rolly kind? Well, that's kind of my issue with games like Utopia and GT, is that it's all speed all the time, and they never give you a chance to slow down and do some platforming. And that's partially due to the lack of air drag in pretty much every game like that, allowing you to just jump over everything. That's something I would like to see a 3D Sonic game like that address, so you could have more real platforming going on there. Have I played Cave Story? No. Thoughts on Planet Wisp, both acts. Modern is fun, I like it. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of it, but I think it's kind of cool that it has like a giant 2D section at the end, because it feels like it's designed like Sonic Colors. It's very true to the game of its origin. The classic level can be a bit of a pain in the ass due to the Spike Wisp. Favorite Western cartoon? I mean, it's gotta be Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? Obviously. You mean like Sonic Roboblast 2? Yeah, a little bit, but obviously Roboblast 2 is lacking a lot of Sonic physics elements because it's a Doom mod. Were Utopia... I heard Overture was canceled, but was Utopia canceled? I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to all that stuff because I'd rather just steer clear of things like that. Have I played Kaze and the Wild Max, or Kaze? I don't know how to pronounce that. No, but I definitely want to, because it looks like Donkey Kong Country, and I like Donkey Kong Country. Thoughts on Spark 3 in comparison to Sonic Utopia GT or adventure games? I haven't played it, so I have no thoughts. Thoughts on Futurama Adventure Bros? Never watched them. Thoughts on the Portal games? They're excellent. Who doesn't love the Portal games? Will I be watching the Avatar live-action series? Probably not. I am not someone that needs to see every adaptation ever of something I like. You know, if I read a good book and then it gets a movie, usually I don't even watch the movie because I'm like, I already got the story. I read the book. It was good. I'm fine. So with Avatar, I'm like, why would I watch the live-action version when I already watched the animated version, which was phenomenal? It just seems pointless to me. Do I play the guitar? That's a very specific question. No, I don't play any instruments. Okay, thoughts on Portal's story, both lore and story itself? I mean, there's not a whole lot to Portal's story. It's mostly just jokes, and it's very funny. The lore is moderately interesting, but I don't really care that much about it. Oh, Half-Life is free on Steam right now? Thank you, Hesia. I will definitely grab that. Thank you. Would I rather play a UbiArt Rayman game or the classic Sonic games? Probably a classic Sonic game. But it's pretty close. Those UbiArt Rayman games are fantastic. I play TF2? Yes. Both TF2s. Titanfall and Team Fortress. Both some of the best shooters ever made, in my opinion. What's my favorite class in TF2? Probably either Scout or Soldier. But I like all the classes, minus Spy. I'm a really terrible Spy. How would I feel about Tom Holland as Link in the Zelda movie? Honestly, I really don't care very much about the Zelda movie. It's not like the Zelda games are some rich storytelling franchise, so there's not a whole lot to do with the Zelda movie, so I'm sure it'll be very standard and plain and fine. I mean, I was surprisingly pleased with the Mario movie, but I'm not at the edge of my seat for the Zelda movie. It'll come out, and I might see it maybe. Eh. Am I gonna watch the Garfield movie? There's a Garfield movie? I didn't know that. No. Link won't be cast feminine, so why bother? You know, it's kind of true, Andy. Link has to be a little bit of a twink to really authentically capture the character. What do I think about Peach in the Mario movie? It's very typical for, like, a Hollywood movie of that kind. It's obviously not Peach. Yeah, I would prefer if Peach was like Peach, but you know how Hollywood is. Tears of the Kingdom thoughts? I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, because I have to review all the other Zelda games leading up to it first. It's kind of torturous that I haven't played it for myself, but what, I'm gonna play a 100-hour game and then, 9 months later play it again for a review? No, but I can't also just have 100 hours of footage just sitting there on my hard drives, because that eats up a lot of space for recording other things. So I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and it's driving me mad. Have I watched The Boys? Yes, I like The Boys. It's very, very good. I wouldn't say I love it. I have some issues with the show, but I am looking forward to the next season. Have I tried SRB2 Persona? No, I have not. I enjoy the gameplay of Persona well enough, but my main interest in Persona is the story, which obviously that doesn't have, so not particularly for me. Kishimoto will add crafting mechanics in Frontiers 2. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. What about Invincible? Did not like Invincible. I thought it was quite mediocre. Opinion on Sonic fan games? Have you never seen my videos before? I love Sonic fan games. I played a ton of them. A lot of them are fantastic. Any thoughts on the Ninja Turtles? If so, favorite incarnation? Yeah, I like the Ninja Turtles. Favorite incarnation, purely biased because it's the one I grew up with. 2003 TMNT was the shit. I also read like 50 chapters of the IDW TMNT comics, which I thought were pretty good. I had some issues with them, but pretty interesting. Pretty cool version of TMNT with a lot of cool stuff going on there. I want to try all the other incarnations of TMNT one day. Try the original comics, try the 80s cartoon, try the 2010s cartoon, try Rise of the TMNT. I really want to watch that new movie that came out. It looks really cool. Thoughts on 2012 TMNT? I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes. From the little I've seen, it seemed like a perfectly fine kids show. I don't know if it's for me, but I wanna try it a little bit more, see if it's good. Have I gotten into SMT? No, I want to, because of how much I like the Persona games, obviously. Just haven't gotten around to it yet, because there's a lot of those games, and they're very, very long. Thoughts on the Spider-Verse movies? Both excellent movies. I loved them. Though at the same time, I kind of hate the original Spider-Verse, because it's thanks to that we now have an endless slew of crap multiverse garbage and everything, and I want it to stop. Favorite video game ever? Outer Wilds. What do I think about Dragon Ball Daima? I don't know what that is. Have I played any Persona before P3? No, but I want to. I definitely want to try P1 and 2, because I've heard that they're very good in their own right. Have I seen any Transformers shows? Not really. I was not a Transformers kid. I kind of want to check out Transformers Animated, because it's by the same guy who did the Teen Titans cartoon, which is phenomenal. But Transformers have never really appealed to me very much. Sonic Double Jump or Air Dash? They're both interesting mechanics, I think, in Sonic. I think they both work well. Honestly, either or. I don't really have a preference. Do I like Rise of the Beasts? Is that the new Transformers movie, I think? I haven't seen it. I don't care. Thoughts on Puss in Boots 2 if I saw it? I did see it. It was good. It wasn't an amazing movie. It didn't knock my socks off, but it was good. Have I played Astral Chain? No, I haven't. Haven't gotten around to playing it yet, though. Would like to do a video on it when I eventually do play it. Am I going to do a video on the rich, deep, and complex lore of Mario? No. Have I played Sonic Smackdown? Yes, I mentioned it in my video on Sonic fan games. It's really cool. I haven't played it against a person, but I think it's a very neat game. I would like to at some point. Favorite action game? DMC5. How would I simplify 3D Sonic's control scheme? That's a topic for a video. I'm gonna hold off on that one. Do I have a preferred or favorite superhero? Well, these days I'm fucking sick of superheroes in general. But if I had to pick a favorite superhero, it would either be Batman or Spider-Man. Do I think Rogue the Bat is hot? Who's Rogue the Bat? I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone is sick of superheroes now. Yes, they are. Voltrix, I see what you're saying, but, you know, it's just a fan game. They're working on a commercial game right now, so I get it. Just transposing movesets from other characters. It's mainly just like practice and learning how to make a fighting game, so I don't blame them. Oh, Hisuya, have you never seen this skip before? Yeah, if you boost and then do a hop, there's no air drag on the hop, so you can just get ridiculous distance. Why is everyone sick of superheroes? Because they made 500 superhero movies every month, and they were all the same movie over and over and over again. Yeah, if you pay attention to my gameplay in certain levels, I have some pretty crazy skips that I figured out. Things that a lot of people probably don't do when they normally play. A lot of them are very difficult. Time attack in this game is actually kind of frustrating, because all these skips are so hard to do, so getting a clean run is, it's a challenge, but it's satisfying in that way when you finally get it. Have I played Yoshi's Island? Judging by me, I probably don't like it. Yeah, not a fan of Yoshi's Island. I've tried it. Not for me. Thanks, Frankie Hedgehog. You know, I'm no speedrunner. That's why I always refer to it as time attack, because what I'm doing is obviously nowhere near what an actual speedrunner does, but real fun. I've realized playing through Colors and Colors DS and Generations in this quick sequence here, my favorite thing about time attacking Sonic games is routing it, is experimenting in the levels and seeing what I can do and discovering new shortcuts for myself. That's the best part for me. That's the part where I'm really loving a game, when I, you know, have this one part of the level and I'm doing it and I figure out, oh wait, there's this higher route that I can take here. That's way cooler. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I can do this instead, and I can skip that whole section with this crazy cool jump, and it's like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Like, that's the stuff that I really love. Modern Crisis City is your fave to time attack? Modern Crisis City is one that, if you really want to go fast in that, it has a lot of really difficult things, because there's a lot of 3D platforming in that is very difficult to do if you're trying to air boost your way through it and stomp precisely to land where you want to and stuff. Do I like Sonic Generations 3DS? Yeah, I like it. It's not my favorite 2D Sonic game. I think the level design is kind of weak, but it's an alright game. I'm probably with you there, Voltrix. The level design of modern Seaside Hill is really interesting and so vast, and the routes are like twisting all over each other all over the place, and has so much opportunity for creative routing. It's a pretty phenomenal level. Okay, Pato, I will check that out. I've never heard of that before, but I will keep it in mind. Yeah, Unleashed levels, Frankie Hedgehog, absolutely true. They are much more, you know, strict and limited in terms of how you can approach them, whereas these levels are much more open-ended, which is really, really fun. Oh yeah, no, Bravia, I'm not playing. I could definitely not play like this while reading chat. This is pre-recorded. This was me just time attacking through the levels. I could never play this well while talking. Thoughts on Ultra Kill? Have not played it, but I definitely want to because it looks sick as fuck. Oh, there's a big anniversary update? What's in it? I haven't heard about any of this. Am I a follower of Sakurai's YouTube channel? No, but I've watched a couple of videos here and there, and they are phenomenal videos. They're so interesting. As someone that's just fascinated by game design, they're so interesting. It's funny, some of them, Sakurai talks about things that, like, it's like he's speaking my thoughts to me. He had one where he was talking about game trailers, how he doesn't like how game trailers work, where they focus so much on, like, story and the build-up, and it's, like, 45 seconds into the trailer before you get to gameplay, and usually when he checks out a game trailer, he just skips to where the gameplay is, and I'm like, bro, that's me right there, absolutely. Restores a lot of things from older versions of the game, fixes for modern platforms. Cool, cool, definitely. Have I ever played any Ys games? No, I've heard that they're good, and they seem kind of cool. I have Ys Origin on my Steam wishlist. I heard that's a good entry one to start with. Would I agree with the notion that the more creative control the director of a Sonic game has, the worse the game ends up being? Well, it's hard to say how much control a director has in a Sonic game, because, like, okay, Unleashed. We could blame the director of the game for putting in the shitty werehog, but can we? Was that his choice, or was that a higher-up from Sonic Team? Was that Iizuka's choice? Or it wasn't actually Iizuka that was head of Sonic Team at the time. It was, the guy who made the Advance and Rush games. I forget his name. Or was it some Sega executive saying, God of War is hot, make a God of War Sonic game, and then they just had to do it? Because if that's the case, then it's not their fault that that game ended up as problematic as it did. So it's hard to say how much creative control a director even has with any given Sonic game. Akinori Nishiyama. Thank you, Siegel Moa. Yes, that's his name. A very underappreciated, unsung hero of Sonic Team. He's done a lot of great stuff. Sonic 3 was very micromanaged by Naka, and that game's a masterpiece. I'm not too familiar with the development of Sonic 3, but I could see it, because there's a lot of similarities between Sonic 3 and Sonic Adventure, which I know he was very, very heavily involved in. I seem to be struggling with that red ring. I'm not playing for red rings here. This is Time Attack. I already have all the red rings by the time of recording this. A lot of what I'm doing right here in this boarding section is I'm just comparing routes, just to see what's faster. And I found that the fastest thing is to just ignore all the ramps and all the shortcuts and all the higher paths, which makes sense because you're going down, so going up off of a ramp does not get you to your destination faster. So weirdly, in this section, the best thing to do is to just plow through as many things as you can and just ignore all the shortcuts. Which is weird, because that's the opposite of how it works in Sonic Adventure 2, where you want to hit all the ramps and avoid all the cars. In some ways, Bravia game music, a lot of the level design feels very akin to Sonic 3, but obviously physics-wise and the general core overall design of the game is very different. Canal du Zeni, interesting. Interesting perspective. See, I would, like, put something like Shadow the Hedgehog, I would put that on Iizuka's shoulders, because the direction of that game was to make it dark and gritty and put guns in. Like, I would think that would fall on the director's shoulders. But again, it could have been a Sega executive saying, dark games are in, make this Sonic game dark. Don't know. Have I seen Soul Eater? No. That's not my kind of show. Yeah, the ramps in SA2 give you a massive speed boost, as opposed to the ones in Generations, which slow you down. Yeah, exactly, Chrono Blue, just like Jak and Daxter. Jak 2 was like, dark games are in, let's make our character swear and give him guns. It's literally the exact same thing as Shadow the Hedgehog. How's the Sonic Story comic coming? It is coming along, slowly but surely. We're making progress. We almost have every page, at least in a rough draft form, which is exciting. Looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I hope everybody likes it. Oh yeah, here's me trying to see if you can slope jump off of this like you can in SA2. But the collision is a bit weird here. I think the slope is too steep, so you jump and then immediately land back on the ground, so it doesn't work. How do I feel about Kishimoto making Sonic games? Well, I mean, if we look at the games he's made, he did Sega Rings, he did Black Knight, he did Colors, Lost World, Forces, and now Frontiers. And out of those games, I would say Colors is the only one that's like an overall quality good video game. Frontiers is pretty okay, but it still has a lot of issues, so I don't know if I would say that he's a great director. I think he did the level design of Sonic Colors, though. I want to say I saw that in the credits in my recent playthrough. If that's the case, I think he could maybe be a decent level designer. I know a lot of people don't like the level design of Colors, but I actually think it's pretty good for reasons that I'll get into in the video. Oh yeah, this skip right here is very difficult. Trying to jump from that slope directly into that rainbow ring is tough because I'm not pointing in the same direction I'm moving, which makes the controls very difficult to make what I want to happen. What's my favorite Sonic director? Hirokazu Yasuhara. 100%, no questions. Well, yeah, obviously the character writing in Colors is terrible, but as a video game, I think Colors is a ton of fun. Kishimoto was a designer for all of his games except Frontiers. I don't think he did level design on Forces, I think. Oh yeah, totally agreed, Bravia. Yasuhara is absolutely a genius. His games are brilliant. They're games that are so good that 30 years later, I'm still learning new things about them repeatedly. Promare or Gurren Lagann? I mean, that's really hard to compare, because it's like asking me, do I like oranges or orange juice? It's like, it's almost the same thing, isn't it? They taste pretty much the same. Promare is basically just a hyper-compactified version of Gurren Lagann. I guess I'd probably say I like Promare more, but, I mean, they're both excellent. Well, Subsonic Sparkle, it doesn't owe anything to Gurren Lagann. It's made by the same people. They're just doing it again. Kill la Kill or SA2? That's a weird comparison, but Kill la Kill. Do I think Ian Flynn is a bad writer? What I've read from him has not impressed me. Like, even divorced from how I feel about how he handles Sonic, I've seen a lot of problems with his writing. But I haven't seen enough to say overall. Don't like RPGs, so thoughts on Mario RPG Remake? I might try it. Maybe. I don't know. Thoughts on Devin Mack's Sonic voice? It's fine. It's serviceable, I think. I don't have any issues with it. I don't particularly care very much for English Sonic voices, so whatever. Do I like shooters like Ultra Kill? I love shooters. I love fast-paced action shooters with cool movement, but I have yet to play Ultra Kill specifically. Pariah, when am I getting a job within Sonic Team? Probably never. I guess never say never, but probably not gonna happen. My favorite Gynax/Trigger show. Oh, that's so hard to narrow down. I do love Little Witch Academia. It's pretty phenomenal. I like the shorts they did more than the series, but the series is also really, really good. Either that or probably Kill la Kill would be my pick. If Sega approached me, would I take a job with them? What's my job going to be? That's a big factor. What do I think of Sonic and Tails are? It's amazing, and if you haven't listened to it, you should absolutely go listen to it. It is the best Sonic story that anyone has told since Sonic and the Black Knight. Head of lore team? Well, then I definitely wouldn't take that job, because that's a pretend job that's not real. I wouldn't actually make an impact that way. I would like a important job. I can do whatever. I would like to say yes, because I have a lot of things that I think would be good for Sonic, but at the same time, I don't know anything about managing a game development studio or handling a multi-million-dollar IP, so I'd probably fuck it up. Writer? Okay. Bring me on as lead writer in charge of Sonic, on the condition that all the stupid modern mandates and limitations are lifted and I can do whatever I want. Then I'm in. Lore team is like fridge drawings by your kid. Exactly. Level designer? Oh, I definitely could not do that. No. Do you know how fucking complex Sonic level design is? I couldn't fucking do that. It's so difficult. If you've never done it, go pull up a level map of, like, Mushroom Hill from Sonic and Knuckles. It is so complex and large, and there's so much going on. Like, Sonic levels are so difficult to make. Pariah should be a playtester. Why would you wish misery upon me? Playtesting is an awful job. I know people who have done playtesting, and it's not fun at all. It sucks. Playtesting is not play the game and give your feedback on what are the issues. Playtesting is walk into every single corner of the entire game and see if you can fall through the geometry. Sega needs to hire Pariah so he can write a new Shadow the Hedgehog game. I'd be interested in writing a new Shadow story. I think that'd be cool. I have some rough ideas of where you could take Shadow that might be interesting. What franchise would I most compare Sonic to in terms of quality consistency? The Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That's not a good comparison, by the way. That's a bad movie series. Pariah needs to be hired to develop a Sonic dating simulator. I mean, I could do it. I could write that. I don't know if anyone would want that. Actually, people would definitely want that. Maybe they should do that. Am I a fan of Splatoon? Yeah, I played Splatoon 1 and 2, loved them. Haven't picked up 3 yet, but I definitely want to. What do I think would be the best gameplay style for a game focused on Cream the Rabbit? Well, Cream is a weird character because she was introduced in Advance 2 and Heroes, where she just plays like a normal Sonic character. But nowadays, they act like Cream can't do anything, and she's not like a fast action character, although Dream Team is doing away with that. But I guess you could argue it's Dream, so she can do that kind of stuff, maybe. So, like, I would say you could just put Cream in a normal Sonic game. But if you wanted to build a game specifically around her, I don't know. You could do a lot. There's a lot of options. Thoughts on the John Wick movies? I like them. They're good, but it's diminishing returns with every single movie because they're just the same thing over and over. It's not a story. It's just watch a bunch of cool-ass action scenes over and over and over, and it gets old after a while. Cream has a lot of overlap with Tails. Well, yeah, but you could just not have Tails in the game and have Cream be the flyer of the game. There you go. Could Ray work well in a 3D Sonic game? I think you would have to alter his gliding quite a bit because it's very broken and overpowered. In a 3D game, it'd be very difficult to make level design that he could not just fly past. Have I played any mainline Pokemon game? No, I've never played a Pokemon game before. Would I want more games like Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog from the series? Honestly, no. Not that I'm opposed to it happening, but do I want games like that? Not really. I'm not interested in cutesy little whatever things. I like Sonic the Hedgehog video game platformers, so not really. Ever heard of an indie game called Gravity Circuit? Yes. I want to play it, but I haven't picked it up yet. What do I think of Sonic Team wanting to rival modders? It's a very weird thing to say, and it's kind of worrying, but I hope they can do it, because modders make a lot of good stuff. Oh yeah, Polo AP. I absolutely think that Splatoon 3 will probably be the best one. I just haven't picked it up yet. Ever played Phantom Dust? No. I'm familiar with it, but I've never tried it. Do I think Sonic Force's story has a lot of potential? I don't know. A lot of people say it has potential. I don't know if I agree with that. There's some interesting things about Sonic Force's story that I'm going to talk about in the video that I've never seen anyone else talk about. So that should be interesting. I mean, I do think the story could be done better. So I guess yes. It has potential to be better than it is. Does it have potential to be good? I don't know. Have I read any visual novels? Yeah, I've read a few. A lot of good ones. Have I seen the new Sonic Dream Team clip with Knuckles and Rouge? No, I haven't. I haven't seen anything beyond the initial trailer. Heads up, Splatoon 3 has a lot of cosmetics. If you don't value your time, that's fine. I don't give a fuck about cosmetics in a game that much, really. I am not someone that's going to grind for a billion hours to get a costume that I won't even pay attention to when I'm playing the game because I'm focusing on the gameplay. Eric Schussler, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad you like my videos. What are some of my non-gaming / nerdy hobbies? Well, all of my hobbies are nerdy. You know, I read, I watch things. I recently got a pair of rollerblades. I want to get into rollerblading for some exercise, because I used to like it as a kid, but I haven't done it in a very long time. I also was doing sword fighting for a little bit, but I kind of have stopped on that. I don't know if I'll get back into it. I would like to, but I don't really have a good opportunity right now. I also want to try getting into rock climbing. That seems like it'd be fun. I also play board games, which is hyper nerdy. It's more nerdy than playing video games. Do I work out? No, and I want to fix that, because I don't want to die at 50. That's why I want to get into things like rollerblading and rock climbing and sword fighting and stuff. Also, I was thinking of maybe this winter trying to do some snowboarding or skiing or something like that. That seems like it could be fun. Hit the gym, fatty. I'm actually the opposite of a fatty. I have like the shaggy metabolism where I can just eat trash all day and I remain super skinny all the time. I've always been really skinny my whole life. And people are always like, oh, when you get older, your metabolism is going to slow down. It hasn't. It's the same. I still cannot put on weight. I'm still extremely skinny. You envy that? Well, even if you don't gain fat, you're still fucking up your insides if you eat like trash. So I do try to eat well most of the time. Pariah, what's your favorite Scooby snack? I don't... What? I don't eat fictional... Oh, I see. You're asking me because I'm Shaggy. I get it. So am I trying to bulk up? Yeah, I've been looking into what I need to do to put on muscle, because if I just exercise without changing my diet, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to burn fat that I don't even have, which will mean I'll be burning muscle. So... yeah, I need to increase my calorie intake and increase my protein intake by quite a bit when I really start exercising, which is fine by me. I get to eat more. Am I going to watch that new Scott Pilgrim anime? I didn't know there was a Scott Pilgrim anime. Is it like an anime, or is it a Western cartoon animation inspired by anime? Pato, that's a little too personal. We're gonna not. What kind of bod am I going for aesthetically? I'm not worried about aesthetics. I just want to be healthy. Okay, it's a Western cartoon. I mean, that's cool. I'm not a huge fan of Scott Pilgrim. I saw the movie when it came out. It was pretty good, from what I remember. I want to try the beat-em-up. That looks pretty fun. I don't know. I guess I'd have to see. Oh, it's animated by a Japanese studio? Okay, yeah, so it is anime. Thank you, Catconomics. I mean, a lot of people don't agree with my opinions. I don't put my opinions out there for people to agree with them. I put them out there because it's what I think. And a lot of people have an issue with that for some reason. They're like, you don't have the same opinion as me, so you're a bad person. And I'm like, what? What? What did I do? Have I tried mods like Shadow the Hedgehog Reloaded? Yes, it is awesome. Oh, no worry, Pato. You know, I'm not afraid of getting somewhat personal sometimes, but there are some things that I, you know, want to let my friends and family have their privacy. Don't want to drag them into this kind of thing. What do I think of the Sonic fan base? I mean, it's difficult to ever say anything sweeping about an entire fan base because that is implying that it's like a single cohesive entity that thinks uniformly or behaves uniformly, but really it's millions of people that are all different. Like, there are certain parts of the Sonic community that I think are amazing. The people that make fan games and fan projects and mods and just cool stuff in general, fan art, and then there are a lot of annoying, weird people in the community that are strange. And then there's just a lot of people that are just cool dudes that like the games and have fun with them. And, you know, they're all different people. People are like, people want this, but then when it happens, they complain about that. It's like, yeah, it's different people that have different opinions and want different things. Because there's no real such thing as a fandom as a single entity. We're all just people that happen to like the same thing. And we're different people with different opinions. Don't I know that different opinions is the worst crime I can commit nowadays, Pariah? For some people it is. It's very weird. That Mario video has a lot of people worked up at me that I didn't enjoy the Mario games enough because I played them incorrectly. And I'm like, I still liked the games. Why are you upset at me? I'm so confused. Some people also didn't like my Pikmin 2 review, because I was like, I don't like caves. And it was my most downvoted video that I've ever made. And it's like, I just gave my opinion. Is it a bad video, or do you just disagree with my opinion? Because I don't think a video is bad because someone says something that I don't agree with. Oh, we got some other Pikmin 2 haters in here. Well, lucky you, just yesterday I recorded a Let's Play of me playing through Pikmin 2 Caveless Edition, so that'll probably be going up tomorrow. It was really fun. I liked it. That's how I'm gonna be playing Pikmin 2 from now on, forever. Do I think Sonic games could work well without Eggman? Yeah, sure. I think you can make some other villains for Sonic. I think that'd be fine. Oh yeah, thank you for sending that my way, Sweet, because Pikmin 2 Caveless is exactly what I wanted Pikmin 2 to be. It's pretty awesome. No, Hisa, yeah, I don't think dislikes make your video get less recommended. It actually doesn't matter, likes or dislikes, as long as something is there, because it's just engagement is all that matters. So as long as people are hitting one of those buttons, it's good for the algorithm. Have I seen the new Ghost Tail animation that Marza made? Yes, I have. It was a cute little thing. Not much to say about it. Have I played Advance Wars? No. Do I have a game that I think it's so bad it's good? Deadly Premonition. Absolutely. Deadly Premonition is a terrible, terrible, terrible video game. But it's so charming and so quirky, and it has a genuinely interesting and engaging story. And at a certain point, the garbageness of the game, you learn to love it. No, I have not seen that showcase of the new Evening Star game. To be honest, I don't even really care. Like, I'm gonna buy Penny's Big Breakaway. I don't need to watch any trailers. I'll just pick up the game when it comes out and have a great time with it. Yeah, Pato. It was difficult getting used to the GameCube controls because I've only ever played the Wii and Switch versions of Pikmin. So not having motion controls on the cursor and stuff, it was weird. But I got used to it, kind of. It's okay. Deadly Premonition, someone asks. If you're not familiar with Deadly Premonition, it's like an open-world kind of horror crime investigation game. But it's really bad, but it's really good in that it's really bad. It's very inspired by Twin Peaks, very blatantly. It's very good. Am I into Lupin the Third? I've never actually watched any Lupin, but I really want to. Yeah, I saw that thing about the Marza working on it. And that's cool, but just in general, I've wanted to check out Lupin for a long time. Leo, thank you very much. I'm glad you like my videos. How did I do that? I don't write scripts for my videos, so that makes making them a lot quicker and easier. And, well, I like the games, so I just enjoy playing them. Oh, Polo AP. Sorry, I missed your question. I mean, I'm missing a lot of questions. There's a lot of people in here. I'm probably not going to do a Discord server. I'm just not really a Discord community kind of guy. I don't really engage in any Discords that I'm a part of outside of ones that, you know, with my personal friends. So, probably not. Sonic opinions just straight off the dome. Well, it's not like I just turn on the mic and it's completely unedited. There's a lot of pausing to think through what I'm saying and a lot of retakes of lines and editing it all together. It's not as clean as it seems like it might be. No, Space Cat, I do not write scripts. I've never scripted any of my videos at all. It's all just thinking through it ahead of time in my head a little bit, and that's it. Thank you, Mao. Much appreciated. You heard that I was going to watch the FNAF movie. Did I find anything worth, of worth in it as a non-FNAF fan? It was not a very good movie. I would say probably not. Maybe it was cool for FNAF fans, I don't know. But as a movie, it was not very good. Frankie Hedgehog more interested in being part of the Pride Twitch community. Like I said, maybe I'll move to Twitch if I decide I want to stream more. I don't know. I'll think about it. Yeah, Bravia, obviously one of the reasons I want to check out Lupin is because it is a big influence on Sonic. But I also have just wanted to check it out for a long time because it just looks really good. Well, don't worry, Hisia. I will talk about Frontier's movement in depth myself if you don't get around to it. Shut up, Sweet. You and your friggin' stupid movie crap. What's Lupin? It's Lupin the Third, pronounced L-U-P-I-N. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Lupin. It's an anime series, very old anime series. I'm not even 100% sure what it's about. It's like a detective guy or something? What unreleased Sonic game would I like to play the most? The Saturn version of Sonic Adventure. I'd be very interested to see that. Oh, Lupin is a thief. Okay. My favorite English voice cast of the three? I mean, if we're talking voice acting quality, the current cast are, like, overall the best actors. But I think overall, I'd probably say the original cast from, you know, Dreamcast to Sonic Heroes. I like their voices. I think they're very fitting for the characters. Yeah, that's part of the reason I want to check out Lupin, Bravia, is because Miyazaki worked on it, and I think also Hosoda Mamoru worked on some Lupin, and I'm a big fan of his movies. Did the FNAF movie make a bunch of money? I guess that's not surprising. Favorite Sonic character besides Sonic? Probably either Shadow or Blaze, depending on how you want to frame that question. Alright, thanks for hanging out, Eager J. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, I like Dean Bristow's voice for Eggman a lot. I think it's very, very good. What are some of my favorite VNs? I really like Kato Shoujo. I thought it was really good. Planetary and the Reverie of a Little Planet, I'm a big fan of. A lot of key stuff in general I like. Oh yeah, World End Economica by the writer of Spice and Wolf, also very good. Favorite Freedom Planet character? Based on gameplay, probably Carol. Her motorcycle is pretty fucking awesome. I guess character-wise, I don't really have a preference. I think they're all pretty good characters. Do you think the VA change with Mario is warranted at this time? I mean, well, it's warranted in the fact that Charles Martinet didn't want to do it anymore, so yes. I will say, playing through Wonder, because it's not just him, I think everybody's been recast, right? It's very weird, and it was kind of distracting because everybody sounded weird and different. The only voice actor, actress, whatever, that wasn't distracting to me was Daisy. Her new voice sounds really, really close to her old voice. Everybody else sounded just slightly off, and it was weird the whole time. I mean, they did a good job. I'm not criticizing them just because they don't have the same voices as the old actors. It's just, I'm so used to those old actors, you know? And I gotta say, I do think Wario is a little bit of a tragedy. Wario in particular, his voice, I just love it so much. And the new actor, it just doesn't have that same energy. Peach is the same VA? Is it? Sounded a little bit different. Yeah, Charles Martinet is in his 70s. He doesn't want to do it anymore. I can't blame him for that. You know, whatever. It's fine. And I think the new actors did a good job. It's just, it's going to take some getting used to. How do I feel about Archie Sonic and SatAM characters in general? I haven't read very much Archie Sonic at all, so I don't have much of an opinion on it. I didn't really like what I checked out. Opinion on the SatAM characters? I think that they are fine characters for SatAM, but I don't personally think they really have much of a place in the games. There's no source of Martinet saying he doesn't want to do it anymore. Yeah, but why else would he stop doing it? He's an old man, and he wants to retire, I assume. Favorite Legend of Zelda side character? I mean, is there any correct answer besides Midna? Because Nintendo canned him for money? I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is there. Does Charles Martinet charge a lot because he's Mario? Is he like a Robert Downey Jr.? I don't know. He seems like such a kind, heartfelt man. I can't see him trying to strong-arm Nintendo like that. Besides, that would then... I guess a weird part of it is that they recast everybody, though, not just him. So maybe there is something to that. Oh, thanks, Aphanis the Dolphin. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was talking about, where, like, I've played Generations so much that it's like, okay, now it's time to stop playing the level the way they want me to play it and see what kind of bullshit can I get away with. And you'd be surprised how many cool things you can do in this game. It's pretty awesome. Do I have any thoughts on David Lynch movies? I haven't seen any David Lynch movies but Fire Walk with Me, because I watched all of Twin Peaks. But I absolutely want to watch more, because I love Twin Peaks, and I think David Lynch is a very interesting filmmaker, so I definitely want to watch more of his stuff. Do I think Sonic Extreme would have been good? Probably not, considering how much of a shit show that game's development was. What do I think of the story of the first Freedom Planet game? You know what? I like it. It's very charming in how, like, kinda, like, not very good it is, and how not great the voice acting is, but it's got heart. It's like an old Saturday morning cartoon with, you know, it's trying, and I find it very charming, so I like it. Do I think Sonic Team will ever do a fan game initiative? Probably not. I'd be surprised if that happened. Yeah, exactly, Seagull Moe, but I think it does it pretty well. Like, it's very, like, amateurish, but they're giving it their all, and they're pulling it off better than most people would. Do I wish for a live system to come back to Sonic games? No, I think lives are stupid. Will I make a video on the Killer Instinct games? Well, I don't have any thoughts on the original Killer Instincts. I've never played them, but I will almost certainly be making Killer Instinct videos at some point. Thoughts on Klonoa? Never played it, but I picked it up recently on sale. I'll probably be making videos about it. Yeah, that's another thing, Alex Hernandez. Things like that, or when Fallout tried to let modders sell their mods, like, anytime a company has tried to get fan content monetized and involved officially, it's kind of always been a shit show. I think Sega had a smart approach of, let's just hire fan game makers to make a game. I think that's probably a better way to do it than trying to buy the rights to a fan game or, you know, weird stuff like that. Should Beat from JSR be in Sonic Riders? It's a crime that he's not in Sonic Riders. Like, what the fuck? Ooh la la, I. Why are you putting in these characters when there's literally a super stylish, cool, iconic Sega character that would fit perfectly in Sonic Riders that fucking skates around? Like, what? How did they never do this? I swear to God, Sonic Riders Tournament Edition better fucking add Beat to the game, because it's ridiculous that he's not in. I mean, at this point, you know what? I say fucking add Red from Bomb Rush Cyberphone. That'd be sick. Like how, Sonic Smackdown, instead of Knights, they added, Balan from Balan Wonderworld. That's pretty cool. Shame about the game, but still a cool gesture. What Sonic game has the highest peaks? Best overall game? Not best overall game, but very high point in character, story, cinematics, or gameplay. I would say Sonic Adventure 2 probably has the highest peaks in terms of, like, story and character stuff. Gameplay-wise... Maybe Unleashed has the highest peaks gameplay-wise, but maybe not. I don't know. Hard to say with gameplay. Unleashed definitely is up there with, like, its intro cutscene and everything, and the overall story. But I think that, like, if we're talking peaks, if we're talking individual moments, I think, like, probably the best scene in all of Sonic is the confrontation between Sonic and Eggman on the Ark when he puts him in the capsule and shoots him out into space. That scene is pretty fucking great. Oh, dude, Bravia. Team Reptile making a Riders-esque game. Oh, holy shit, I wish. That'd be fucking awesome. Have I gotten to playing Sonic Advance 2 SP? Not yet, but I did add it to my spreadsheet. Seems very cool. I want to try it. I hope that scene is in the third movie. I am going to talk about this when I eventually do my video on the Sonic movies. I do not think the third movie is going to be an adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2. I think it'll have elements from Sonic Adventure 2, but I do not expect the Space Colony arc to be in that movie. I'm just going to say it. How's the Minish Cap video coming along? Well, that's not next at all. I gotta do Wind Waker, I gotta do Four Swords, so Minish Cap isn't gonna be for a while. Favorite ROM hack would probably be Sonic 2 Advanced Edit. It's really good. It's basically just a full Sonic fan game. Highly recommended. Do you own any handheld emulators? No, I'm not really much of a handheld gaming guy. If I'm out of the house, I like to be away from games and internet and online stuff. I'm not someone that's checking my phone all the time. Usually, my phone sits there and I don't really pay attention to it most of the time. You don't even expect Maria in movie 3, Verge. Maria is an interesting question of whether or not they're going to do Maria, because those movies are obviously very kiddie. My guess would that they would maybe hint at her a little bit, but be much more vague about what happens to her. Or alternatively, I could see them turning Maria into an adult. Like, she could be a scientist that's like Gerald's assistant or something. You know, make her a bit older. I could see that happening. And she forms a connection with Shadow as an adult rather than as a child. If they won't have the arc, they won't have her at all. Well, that's not necessarily true. She could just be in a lab somewhere. Do I think the movie will include the feds firing Gerald by firing squad? I doubt that. That cool, iconic shot of the straight-on Gerald as he gives his ultimatum. I'd be very surprised if that was in the movie. I mean, if I were to guess what the general premise and progression of the movie is going to be, it's going to be, like, Shadow wanting to just, like... See, here's the thing. Here's the question. Without the Space Colony arc, what is Shadow even trying to do in the story? Because I don't think the arc will be in the movie. If he still is, you know, angry about Maria's death, then how would he lash out against humanity to do that? Because he doesn't really have an effective way. So I don't even know if that will be his motivation and his goal. I could see maybe he has a specific vendetta against Sonic for some reason. That might be the direction they go in. And in that case, yeah, I guess you wouldn't need Maria necessarily. Do I think Sonic games should move to a 13+ rated games? Well, they've already done some E10+ games, or teen-ish games. I think actually there have even been teen-rated Sonic games, right? I think. Shadow the Hedgehog teen-rated? No, I don't think that's necessary. I think that Sonic can do perfectly fine, E for everyone. Do I think the movies will make Amy a girl boss like Movie Peach? Cutting out her adventure arc? I mean, she's definitely not going to be like Amy. She's definitely going to be an action character, for sure. And I honestly, I would be surprised if there was any hint of her having feelings for Sonic, because we live in this weird world now where mainstream entertainment, everyone is like a asexual, sterile, loveless entity that... It's very strange. Everyone feels like a robot with just no blood pumped through their veins. No one is attracted to anyone ever, under any circumstances. It's very strange. Like, I know they want to do love interest, damsel in distress stuff, but it's bizarre that everyone is just completely platonic in all situations, in everything. Very strange. Yeah, they're only attracted when the plot demands it. They don't act like humans or people that are alive and feel attraction to other people of any kind. You feel 13 plus would be better for story and gameplay perspective? I don't agree. I mean, I think the original Sonic games are perfectly fine for anyone of any age to enjoy, and those are definitely E for everyone games. Given my statements, will I admit who I ship in the Sonic franchise? I don't ship. I don't do that. Knuckles and Blaze are the only ones that really make any sense because it's already kind of established for their characters. Beyond that, I think that Sonic and Blaze could be cute if there was like a one-way attraction, Blaze liking Sonic. That could be appropriate, and I wouldn't have an issue with that. Outside of that, no. I mean, obviously, Amy liking Sonic, obviously. Did I say Knuckles and Blaze? Because I was thinking about Blaze, what I was saying before. I meant Knuckles and Rouge, yeah. Do I like Ian Flynn? Well, I've never met him or talked to him, so I don't have any opinion of Ian Flynn, the man. Yeah, what would the game being 13 plus change about the gameplay? I guess you could theoretically have an older target audience and have more complex gameplay, but I mean, again, the original Sonic games were for kids, and they're extremely complex, nuanced games that are super fun for anybody. So, I don't get it. I don't see it. I think it's fine. It sounds like an unrequited harem. I know, it does. It's kind of an issue because Sonic can't have any emotional love for anybody because he's Sonic. So the only thing you could ever do is people liking him and him not liking them back. There's no really other options for Sonic if you want to be true to his character. Favorite Sonic form? You know, honestly, I like the Werehog. Gameplay-wise, it sucks, of course, but I like what it represents story-wise for Sonic Unleashed, and I don't hate the design, honestly. I think the Werehog kind of looks cool. It looks a bit stupid, but in a cool way, which is very Sonic. It's very appropriate. Yeah, it's been about 3 hours. I'm probably going to end the stream in the next, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, because I got some stuff to do. And I actually mean it this time. I'm not going to say I'm going to end the stream soon, and then keep streaming for another hour and a half. Thoughts on Cybershell? He's cool. He makes good videos. Thoughts on the Yakuza series? I've only played 0, and I thought it was very good. That's an understatement. I thought it was excellent. Especially the story was super engrossing and engaging. The cutscenes, when you're playing Yakuza, and you know, it has like those like just character dialogue, just in-engine stuff, and then it goes to like the kind of nicer cutscenes, but it's still in-engine, and then it goes to like the nice cutscenes, the really cinematic ones. When those kick in, you're like on the edge of your seat, like holy shit, here comes the good stuff. Those are like the only games that are like that for me, that are like heavily cinematic, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Give me more. I want more cutscenes. Yeah, Third Tomoe, that scene with the Werehog is very cool, and it's like, that's not what the gameplay is like. Why couldn't that be the gameplay? Have I ever played the BlazBlue series? I played a little bit of Central Fiction, and it was pretty cool, but it's a very complex and difficult game to play. I didn't get into it too much. If you're curious, I mained Bullet in that game. I don't know if she's good or not. I just thought I just thought she was fun. GTA 6 hype? No, not interested whatsoever in Rockstar games. Favorite fighting game? Killer Instinct from 2013. What games am I looking forward to in 2024? What's coming out in 2024? I can't even think of much off the top of my head. Thousand Year Door remake looks cool. Oh yeah, Penny's Big Breakaway, obviously. I don't know. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention to new stuff coming out. I focus on what's already out, because there's like 500 games that I want to play. Have I played Skullgirls? Yes, Skullgirls is really cool. What Sonic crossovers would work? I just want to see Sonic and Mario done right. Fuck, stop with the stupid goddamn Olympics crap and make a real goddamn Mario-Sonic crossover game. It's fucking annoying. Favorite sword? Well, I've only trained with the two-handed longsword, so I guess I would say that. Unless you meant, like, a specific sword from, like, nerd stuff. Oh yeah, check out these skips in Planet Wisp over this whole 3D section here. This is really difficult to do. You're a legit HEMA guy? I haven't done a ton of it. I've trained for like 9 months, and it's been almost a year since I went, but I want to do more. This is very fun. Yeah, that skip. That skip is pretty sweet, isn't it? But it's really difficult to do consistently because it's a weird camera angle and you gotta be very precise when you time that stomp. What is my favorite 3D Sonic game? Sonic Generations, probably. Yeah, no, I am going to make a video where I just rant about how much I'm fucking sick of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games games. Just like, why are they wasting this amazing opportunity where they have the license to make a Mario and Sonic game, and they're doing that with it? What the fuck is wrong with you? Stop! What Sonic comic characters would I like to see in the games? I mean, I haven't read anything with her, but conceptually, I kind of dig Surge as a character. It's nice to have a new Sonic rival character, because we haven't had that since Blaze. So that's nice. I like that, and I think she has a cool design. She looks like a fun character. So, probably her, if anybody. Thoughts on the Jak and Daxter series? Jak 1 is really fun. I don't like Jak 2 and 3. Jak X is a pretty cool racing game. And then we don't talk about the other one. What type of thing would I like to see for Sonic and Mario crossover? I've already mentioned in this stream, an RPG. I think that would be the best way to do it. I don't even want a platformer. I want an RPG. Did they mention the Space Colony arc in the second Sonic movie? I'm surprised. The thing about why I say I don't think it'll be in the movie is because those movies are fucking cheap, and they're filmed in California because it's easy and you don't have to do a bunch of CG or make sets. So how is half of the movie going to take place in Space Colony arc when it has to take place in the small town of Green Hills, California to save budget? I am very cynical when it comes to those movies. Green screen? Well, yeah, but it will cost money to do all those CG backgrounds and everything, and it's much easier to just film in California. Any theories on the super game thing Sega is doing? Okay, here's my theory. It's probably gonna backfire horribly, and they're probably gonna lose a lot of money on that, and it could be very bad for the future of Sega. Putting so many eggs in one basket. They've been working on that game for like over a decade, and we still don't know anything about it, and they say it's probably not gonna come for like another 3 years, maybe. Whatever that is, there's no way that it's gonna live up to whatever they want it to be, and I don't think it's a good idea. What is that game about? We don't know anything about it. They just keep saying that they're working on some super game, and that's it. That's literally all we know. Hey, I said the stream will go for like another 20 minutes or so, and that is going to happen. And you thought Prime 4 was vaporware. I don't know if Prime 4 is vaporware. I think it's probably done, but they're holding it off to be a launch title for their next system. Favorite Castlevania title? Probably The Adventure Rebirth. I think that game is really fun. You know, I guess I'll just go to the end of the stream until I finish time attacking Planet Wisp right here. I don't know if this is the run. It might actually be the run. Because by this point, I was kind of fed up with my inputs getting dropped all the time because of my controller and the game just being annoying. So I might just have said, fuck it, and this is it. In which case, I'll still go for, as I said, a couple extra minutes. You want Super Game to be a Sonic game, but it won't? No, I don't think that's going to be a Sonic thing at all. It's probably going to be some new IP or something. Or maybe a mega Sega crossover game, something like that. I have no idea. No, I think I was fed up, and I'm like, fuck it, good enough. Yeah, I think that was it for Planet Wisp. Yep, that's the end. So, guess I'll just hang out for a couple more minutes. I'll put the classic footage back on. That's all I have prepared for this. How much hard drive space does it take up? I mean, just recording footage in general takes up a shit ton of hard drive space. I have a 10 terabyte that I keep footage on, and I'm constantly deleting stuff I've made videos out of already. So, I don't know, like an hour of footage is like... I want to say it's like between 50 to 100 gigabytes or something like that. It's a lot. Most controversial opinion on any subject to close out big. I don't know, I could get political if you want. No, I'm not gonna do that. I should invest in a NAS to store manage all my footage and videos. I don't know what that is. Will I be archiving this stream? Streams are automatically archived on YouTube. Is Sonic Frontiers my least Sonic game? My least what? I assume you mean my least favorite? No. Not at all. Network attached storage? Isn't that like usually a subscription service I have to pay for? I don't have the money for that. Do I want classic Sonic to meet modern Sonic and Co. again? Fuck no. Like I was saying before about Spider-Verse and how I hate that that's created a fucking bunch of multiverse crap. I'm so done with characters meeting alternate versions of themselves. No. No, 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 no. Never again. Do you like the Dark Souls series? Yes, I love the Dark Souls games. They're fantastic. I read Scott Pilgrim. Never read it before. Have I played Trip Story and Sonic Superstars? Yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know what everyone's really on about, that it was, like, terrible. I thought it was fine. It was a little bit more challenging, but I thought that the level design modifications made good use of her movement abilities. I had fun playing through Trip Story. The bosses are awful in Trip. The bosses are awful everywhere in the whole game. That's not a Trip problem. Am I done sword fighting? I want to say no. I want to pick it back up again, but the club that's closest to me is just too far away, too expensive, and I don't have the availability to go as often as I would like to. So one day I would like to pick it back up. It's even worse in her story. I mean, yeah, but something being terrible and something being fucking terrible, it's not that much of a difference to me. Any other good Sonic tubers? I don't watch any other Sonic tubers, so I couldn't tell ya. I mean, you know, you probably know the good ones, so I don't need to say anything. Am I interested in Mario RPG Remake? Maybe. The original game didn't really grab me too much. I'm considering it. No, Grim Jim, it's not that kind of club. It's like it's a HEMA club. HEMA meaning Historical European Martial Arts. You know, you pay a membership and you go every week, and everyone hits each other with swords, and it's super fun. I mean, I accept that I am a Sonic tuber. It's the majority of what I make. But I would like to get away from that once I'm done making Sonic videos. Favorite game of all time, Outer Wilds. Favorite book? Individual book is hard to narrow down. I would probably say, just overall as a general thing, I loved the Spice and Wolf series, as I said before. I think it's really great. Plans to make an Outer Wilds vid? Probably, but it's gonna be very different than my usual stuff because I don't want to spoil anything in that game. You can't talk about Outer Wilds whatsoever without spoiling it. So it'll be different and weird. Yes! I'll make a goddamn video on goddamn Pizza Tower. Everyone shut up! How much can you bench? I don't know. I haven't tried to bench press ever, I think? Maybe like when I was in high school and they would make us go to the gym sometimes. I've never worked out very much. I am a skinny-ass motherfucker. But I want to start getting in shape. I see you, Frankie Hedgehog. Shut up. Oh yeah, sweet. I have the flexibility of a brick. Will I still make Sonic videos of new releases when I stop? Yeah. When I say I'm going to stop making Sonic videos, I mean I will make all of the videos that I want to make, and I will have said everything I want to say about Sonic. But when new things come out, I'll have more stuff to say. So, yeah. Have you tried doing parkour? I would be open to trying it, but there's no, like, gyms or places to learn. It would have to all just be, you know, done on my own, and I wouldn't really know where to begin with that. Maybe there are people locally that I could look up online or something. I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm not sure. Thank you very much for the donation, Rhythm and Tempo. You're working on a Sonic Advance 2 ROM hack? I don't know what it is. I've never heard of Sonic Double Take. Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Oh yeah, I see you, Pato. You're one of the most annoying ones. You always bring it up. I remember. I see your comments. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Parkour looks very dangerous, which is usually why you, like, go to a parkour gym where you can do it with, like, foam and stuff, and you don't start doing it in, like, real-life situations until you can do it, like, perfectly every single time. So that's part of the problem with trying to do parkour. Have I played Gravity Rush? Yes. Gravity Rush is one of my favorite game series ever, and yes, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Favorite Boost era Sonic game? I mean, it's Generations, obviously. It's clearly just the best one. Opinion on Sonic Dream Team? I'm looking forward to it. I'm annoyed that I have to buy a stupid Apple product for it, but the game looks good and I want to play it. Colors versus Unleashed. Well, Colors is definitely the better game overall. I would say I probably like the daytime gameplay of Unleashed a bit more, thanks to, like, the DLC and bonus levels, because they're so stupid, ridiculously hard. What Colors I like because it's more focused on platforming and less on the QTE style gameplay that you get in the Boost games. So, I mean, they're both excellent games. Well, Unleashed is not an excellent game, but the daytime gameplay is excellent. I said it was one of my favorites, not my favorite. What field do I work in my regular life? I just work at a fucking local grocery store. It sucks. Do I prefer Knuckles having combat mechanics? If you're gonna give Knuckles combat, I think it has to be a very different kind of game to Sonic gameplay. Like, I think Knuckles could do really well with, like, a spin-off that really focuses in on his character and what he can do, and doesn't necessarily have to play like a Sonic game. Would removal of Sonic's speed be an interesting plot line inside of a Sonic game? You know, your boy Frost? I've thought about a story myself, actually, where Sonic loses his speed. I think it could be very interesting, yeah. What do I want to do future career-wise? I would like to either write or... I was thinking maybe doing translation work. I kind of want to study Japanese and learn how to actually speak and read it. Game development also I'd be open to, potentially. Like writing for games or something. No, not that shit, Catco Comics. I mean, like a good story about that. Really, a story. Sonic Labyrinth doesn't really have a story. Do I prefer the Japanese or US soundtrack of Sonic CD? Obviously the Japanese. Everyone prefers the Japanese. See, Bravia, I think that the ideal way to go for Knuckles combat is it should be inspired by boxing, because that's what Knuckles is inspired by. So I would want something that's kind of like, I don't know, almost Punch-Out-y, but with movement incorporated into it. I think that would be cool. Am I going to play modern stages? I'm not actually playing It's Amazing. This is, I already recorded this. This is me time attacking through Sonic Generations. I showed the modern stages already. This is just background footage while we hang out and talk. Top 5 favorite games of all time. Oh, it's hard. Okay, Outer Wilds, number 1. Gravity Rush 2, probably. Devil May Cry 5, Super Cloud Built, and Breath of the Wild. That's 5, right? I think. Which title do I prefer, Unleashed or World Adventure? I like World Adventure more. I think that is the better, more interesting, more meaningful part of the game's theming, so I think it's a more fitting title. Welcome back, Danny Ben. Stream's gonna end very shortly. What's my level in Japanese? Less than that of a preschooler, probably. I'm not functional. What about Tears of the Kingdom? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know about it. Can I draw? No. I mean, I can draw probably a little bit better than most people, but no. I am not an artist. Favorite video I made? Probably the What Is It About Sonic video. Do I like Sonic 1 or Mario 1 more as a game? Probably Sonic 1. I have grown to appreciate Sonic 1 more and more over time. Favorite story in a video game? Outer Wilds. You call yourself a weeaboo but can't speak glorious Nihon. The language is called Nihongo. Thank you very much. Amateur. It's actually properly called Nippon. What I think it's Nippongo because Japan is called Nippon, but people for shorthand call it Nihon, so it's Nihongo. I don't know if the language is actually called Nippongo. I've never heard anyone actually say that before. There. Is that enough? Does that show my level? No, it's just Nihongo? Okay, thanks. Have I played Okami? No, but I really want to. Yeah, Nihon is used regularly these days, but the country correctly, like officially, is called Nippon. Do I see Sonic as a god? No. Favorite video game character? Probably Cat from Gravity Rush. I really love Gravity Rush. Which game do I think is better, Sonic 3 and Knuckles or Donkey Kong Country 2? Well, that's easy, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, no questions. The DKC games are fun, but they're also kind of bullshit. I did say he was a Kami at one point. Like, yeah, like, from a narrative standpoint, how he's handled in the games. But not actually. Because England, Hisuya. I mean, why don't we call Germany Deutschland, you know? Why don't we call Italy Italia? Why don't we call anything what it's actually called in its origin language? Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward to learning kanji. That's, I don't even know the language, and I know it's really fucking complicated. Favorite DMC character personality-wise? I mean, it's gotta be Dante, right? Can I at least read Kanas? I don't know what that is. What do I think the worst Sonic retcon inconsistency is? That's like trying to pick out what's the brightest star in the night sky. There's a lot of fucking stars. How am I supposed to tell the difference? Yeah, I know a little bit, Sweet. I don't know a lot. What steps am I making to hold true to Japanese fundamentals in your Sonic story comic? Well, I've done a lot of looking at original Japanese Sonic material, and I try to emulate that writing style as well as I can. When I write dialogue for Sonic, in my head, for what I do know, it's being written in Japanese, and then when I actually write it, I translate it to English. So it's already, like, localized, even though I'm writing it in English. And, you know, I think I have a fairly decent grasp on Japanese storytelling structure and concepts and stuff, and I'm just trying to do my best to capture what I feel is the true essence of original Sonic. Good for you, Uber Comrade. It's good not to be ashamed of who you are and what you like. What crossover I like most to see with Sonic? Mario. I just want to see a real Sonic and Mario crossover. Honestly, nothing other than that. Worst Star Wars film? Can I just lump all of the sequels together and say that? Those are bad fucking movies. Opinions on a Stealth the Hedgehog costume in a Sonic game? I don't particularly care. Is Gravity Rush 2 better than OG? Yes, but it's really just like a continuation. It's just more Gravity Rush, so They're kind of the same game. Sweet, you're not allowed to talk about Star Wars anymore. Not in this chat. For having objectively wrong opinions. I'm joking, by the way. Tell you my political hot takes? Not happening. I am strictly keeping politics off of my channel and what I do online. Do I like the Avengers video game? Does anybody? Colors Wii versus DS? Wii, definitely. Alright, I'm going to be calling the stream there. Thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all your questions. Thanks to everybody who donated. Means a lot. I really, really do appreciate it. It's cool hanging out with everybody. Oh yeah, quick thing. I was thinking of maybe after the Mario video, I might do a stream of me playing Mario Maker. So I want to try to maybe do some kind of format where you guys can all submit like level tags, so that way I can play like your guys' levels or levels you recommend or something like that. So I'll probably have a community post or say something on Twitter about it. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging out. It was a good time. I will see you all later.